It's happening. Listen, before this episode starts, we just thought we'd make a little clip to let you know that anyone who doesn't know, we now have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/another one podcast. And there's like a few different tiers on there. And we can go and get where you can sign up to us. And it helps us make this podcast. Helps us make it, helps us pay for the podcast, helps us make it better, helps us improve and put more content out. We've got big plans for things we want to do, haven't we? Since
yes, we have. We've got big plans. We have got big plans.
Yes, Rob. Yes.
No, we have got big plans, and without anyone signing to the Patreon, this will die.
Yeah.
This will go away eventually, because if we can't make it work financially, we can't keep doing it, can we?
No, we can't just keep throwing fucking...
No, and we've got Aftermill to buy, and that fucking costs
We've got kids to pay for. Yeah. Listen, I'll be honest, if I can't provide, I'll leave.
Yeah.
So...
And we already know.
You don't want to make an orphan.
We already know how it's going, don't we? So we needed to be giving us something back.
Yeah, please.
Because we're bleeding here.
My kids are begging. My kids begging.
So sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/another one podcast.
That's it. There's 3 different tiers, loads of different prices.
Pick one.
Help
sign
us.
Up. You won't even notice it going out your bank. It's a couple of quid.
Less than a Tesco meal deal. Or, well, maybe more than a Tesco meal deal.
You'd buy a starving man a meal deal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I'm starving. That's what we are. Look at me.
Look at him. Do you think that? Do you think this?
Help.
Another one.
What's happening?
What's going on? Take 2.
We had an earlier take, but my son was in the background on the telly, and Wonnie's bound to be a nonce, aren't you? Let's just statistically.
This is like
statistically, Wonnie's is going to be a nonce.
Yeah, definitely. Don't
talking about us in the room, like everyone's looking at me.
Well, you are a Baptist minister.
Form.
Yeah, I know they've got form, but
history.
It's a bit harsh. Only just started.
Only just started what being a Baptist minister, not touching kids. Fucking hell.
Never too late.
Never
too late.
Really quick.
I know. Fucking hell.
Never too late to start, is it? Peak age to probably start, wholesome, isn't it?
Wholesome. What?
Do you reckon that's a peak age to start nonsense? 50 plus.
Nah.
I think it's something that lives with you for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
No, can't be.
No, I reckon. But you only act on it. You only act on it when it gets to the point where you think, I don't mind me life being over now. Yeah. So like you go, I'm leaving it at 30. Still might get some decent puss. You get to 40.
I'm not saying do it for that.
I can still get some puss. And then 50, you're going, I'm not allowed to get 25-year-old puss at 50 if I'm not rich.
I'd rather have a bowl
and then
of
you
soup
act
these days.
Late 50s,
I'm
early
55,
60s.
and I just can't be bothered.
A lot of people that go over to Thailand and that are of the older clientele, innit?
No, I wouldn't even be bothered.
Bang.
I wouldn't even be bothered.
Thailand.
Honestly. That might be a bit of a weird sort of situation, but I couldn't be bothered. It's too much like energy.
So you do it, it's just the energy. It's the cover-up
I'm just generally talking about sex. Let's get that straight.
I'd nonce if it was easier to get away with.
I had more energy.
Who wouldn't?
It's like you go in the gym.
It's like you don't have serial killers anymore. They're hard to get away with, sort of thing.
Yeah.
They've had the day.
That's an interesting tangle, isn't it?
That was a good start.
Yeah. Second appearance, Alan. That's what happens, mate. You're in the circle now.
Smashed your debut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got what absolute belter clip, wasn't it? Yeah. Fire, literally.
I think you made that clip the most, just the laughing out of you.
So funny.
Your laugh is so...
well,
it was so funny.
Intoxicating.
When he hears what working class people having a struggle, it just brings on the...
Does it? Is that what it is? What's going on about being with Jack White all of the week?
Yeah, that's my kind, innit? Yeah. Go with Jack White on. And then Mr. Colin Havey, first time.
Should be your second calf.
Should have been, but we got stuck in traffic. We
both had the same fate, didn't we?
Yeah. You got it in the end, though, didn't you?
In the end, because I had to do
I was something late.
Well, he would have been a lot later, wouldn't he? If you checked.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be there until half 8. Yeah, I've checked the sound. So again.
Well, no, I was just wanting to know. So rescheduled. How have you been, Col?
Good, mate. Yeah, just cracking on. Running an empire and all that.
You are, aren't you? The old giggle show.
Letting people know, yeah. Colin was the promoter of the infamous gig. Me and Sam
have you got the beer that from the? Has he got the stout? Did he say he's gonna? No, he hasn't got it. No, he was the infamous promoter.
Sorry about that.
Of the brutal brewery gig.
No, it was sound. We enjoyed it, didn't we? We got some free beers off them as well for the last pod.
Did you?
Yeah, there was 12 beers. I said, do you want to sponsor us? And they were like, yeah. And then I was like thinking they're going to give us like 50 odd beers to last us like the month for all the podcast. And I got there and they were like, so give me 12. I was like, well, what you've done is gifted me there. You haven't sponsored us.
That's not sponsoring.
You've gifted us, so we'll see how they get on.
I set up that tab and I thought they'll let me off at the end.
Yeah,
I had to pay.
Did you?
You were on that tab. It's like Jesus.
Oh, sorry, mate.
It's all right. It's only 70 quid.
I thought they were going to let it off as well.
Yeah, that wasn't that much. But I thought, this say you can have a few on us, but.
Still running that one, aren't you? Though?
Well, I don't know. We'll give it another go.
When's
we'll
the next one?
Set it up a bit better. June the 26th. For any of Rob mates want to come back again.
Yeah, hit me up and I'll help you.
Yeah, I guarantee if you come back, I won't be comparing it. So, I didn't compare the last one, did you?
Yeah, to be fair, you didn't bother comparing the last.
It was so shit. It was so shit.
I don't want to put you down, but it was shocking.
Where was this?
It was in a brewery in Bootle.
Bootle, yeah, Top Rope Brewing. I was crap.
And like Colin put basically how it happened was Colin put it on the forum. I'm looking for acts for this, and then I got offended that he'd even have a gig in Bootle and not just come straight to me.
Okay. Yeah.
So then I give him loads of shit. And then like 3 days later, he then asked me to want to get to it. So he still took 72 hours to see if there was a better acts available before going, do you want to do this gig, Bobby? And then he put me down to open, and it turned out that cunt was closing. And I was fucking fuming.
He knows how the circuit works, don't you, Colin? You've been around long enough.
How it goes.
Fucking so I was fuming. And then we get to the gig. So I thought, oh shit, about it. Like, I always want something decent, you know what I mean? You want something like that gig and then I was looking at, you always want something decent by ours. I don't want it to be shit. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, come on, I'll come and do it. So I started sharing it open, and then I realised, hold on, I don't know if this gig's actually going to be, I'm people there. This could be fucking shocking. And I'm going to show me face in Bootle after it.
King of Bootle, like.
Yeah, exactly. And then feeling like, so after a couple of shares, I stopped sharing it. I wanted to do about 40, 50 people were going to come. And then when we got there, 40, 50 people come, and they were all just me, and about 12 other people.
There's some for you. There was them four at the front row.
Yeah, there's a few at the front. There was a few more, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
There's the regulars at the back, your mum's table, the five-a-side lads table, the reprobates table that you knew, and then there was your four.
Yeah, my four that I.
And then there's the 12 at the back there.
Your four, and there's two I knew from tennis.
People there, yeah. It's weird the fact that I know the whole fucking crowd there. They probably couldn't tell you my name who were the comedian, but I can tell you their whole fucking story.
You've got a gig report on it on your phone.
It was all right in the end.
It was a good gig. I enjoyed it. Just
badly set
Anyone
up.
listen to this from Bootle, which there's loads of years.
To be
go to it.
June the 26th, we're back here.
We want something decent in Bootle going. So
are you doing anything different with the setup for this?
I'm going to check. Yeah, I'm going to do what you said and just change it. Because I like the idea. I mean, I told you what happened to I had a sound guy that used to do all the sound for me.
Oh, yeah.
And he got killed in an accident like a week before a gig I had last year. So I didn't have any equipment. So that was the first time I'd kind of set my own stuff up.
Yeah.
And I quite liked the idea of having the big like brewery vats at the back with it. But it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So you said to me, if we move it around a bit.
Yeah.
And I told them when I went back to pick my gear up, I said, we need everybody. If you're going to do table service, that's fair enough. But everyone's got to be in front where everybody is.
Yeah, and compact.
Not like over it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did another gig in a brewery that I told you about. Like, they are very... I mean, somebody said... I was gigging with another guy who said he does this gig in a brewery and he says it's one of the best gigs he's ever done. But my experience of brewery gigs is they're not going to be that good because just acoustically the warehouses, aren't they?
It's just the sound's
concrete floors
shit,
with a big huge tin roof, and
the sound's always shit. Yeah,
I did one for Freddy again ages ago. Yeah, stood on a pallet where the mic didn't work for Steve Harris. Then he managed to get one sort of working for me, but you were tethered to the fucking thing, and they're just not gonna. Just the sound isn't going to be that great, but
we'll set it up properly. And Dan Nightingale has given me his lighting rig.
Oh yeah, you said that the other gig I did, the Helsby one. The Helsby one's great.
Helsby's brilliant.
Get on the Helsby gig.
Yeah, come to that. May the 6th, actually.
I've never been asked to do that one.
No,
not from Helsby.
If you're going to do this, how's the flow going to? As soon as he's a promoter and you live local to one another, you're just going to have to get over it, mate. You know what I mean? Just deal with it.
You will eventually.
Bullying your way onto the bills. Honestly, there's a club in London. He's there going like, "Oh yeah, I'm messing, try and make it work for myself." This is where like the biggest comedians will drop in to do it. And he talks about like he's gonna drop in to do it. He's like, "Yeah, I'll get on there when it works for me."
Jack Whitehall was on there the weekend, and last week I was going to him. Yeah, I'll give him a text, tell him I'm down for May the 13th. So I'll just do it.
But you are owed a favour though, aren't you? So I sort of let it slide. I thought maybe there's a bit of wiggle room.
His message to me. Normally if you're applying for, you didn't apply for a gig, or you'd say, have you got any spots going or whatever. But Rob's
what's the stage time?
It was just cheeky cunt.
Right.
That was what he opened with. What do you mean, doing a gig in Boot without asking me? It's like, fuck.
Exactly.
So I shit myself because I'm a massive fan. It turns out he was only joking, but I waited to see.
I was semi-joking, I'll be honest. If it didn't end up on that gig, I did.
You would have destroyed it.
Yeah.
Well,
I bitched about it around the whole of Bootle for a good 6 months.
Why would you have been asked?
Because, Simon, I'm the king of fucking Bootle and it needs to be respected.
I don't know how you live your life that way. I don't know how you live your life that way.
Can't live like you in the shadows of Formby, just hoping no one knows you or sees you.
Yeah, well, I don't really know where to go now. You've made it awkward now. All you've done is attack his gig and his booking policies about you.
I was getting to my story anyway. Sorry, I wasn't saying about Audible, about the MC and sort of thing. Yeah, it was. My mum goes to me. She goes to me, Simon was very good, wasn't he? What wasn't he? I was like, yeah, whatever. And the middle,
shout out Mrs. Bobby T.
The middle act was all right. But why? I don't get, like, the compare. Right, and I was like, yeah, he had a bad one, but it was fine. Well, yeah, but why is his face on everything then? If he's going to be so shit. If he's so shit, why is his face on all the advertisements and the posters? There's like, it's just like a cartoon. It's like
branding, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a bit of branding. She's like, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to post plaster yourself everywhere, at least be the best.
You got a point there, Mrs. T. I was shit on that night.
No, but I think if you don't gig like much anymore, you do your own ones, don't you? But you don't gig now.
What it needed there, from talking comedians, it needed somebody who's a proper comedian who could do 5-10 minutes of material. But I haven't got any left. I just don't have any material. I've been out since till 5 o'clock the morning before.
Yeah.
I was goosed.
Yeah.
I was like stressed about setting it all up, and I'm all right.
I mean, even in
to be fair to you, a lot of you went on and you were like, and we have said this on the podcast before on the Patreon thing. You went on being like, oh, is everyone excited to see Rob? Because I'd like brought most of them. Yeah. And the reality was, they were just there to see if I was shit or not.
If you were shit, I know.
It was like, they weren't there excited to see me. They were there like, oh, that cunt does comedy, let's see if he's any good.
I just forgot what I've been comparing my gigs for 5 years. I just forgot what to do. Didn't have any plan. And then it was at the point where for the second section, I would never have done it, but I was thinking, they don't want me to go back on. I was thinking I don't want to go back on.
It's all about making. We say this on the podcast all the time. It's always about making professional decisions on the night. Yeah. This might be what this is the game plan.
But you've got to adapt. For 30, but I'm doing 18.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. You gotta go, this doesn't need 30. This doesn't need me to go back on. Or I'll just go on and.
I was tempted not to go back on, but the lineup was so good. It was good in the end. It was a good gig. Yeah, it was sound. Everyone well. Only messing while.
I remember us doing one for Wales at Comedies. You remember that one where he got through out of his own gig when he was commentating?
I fell with the terrible Bobby Orange.
Yeah.
He stunk, didn't he?
World of Comedy. Who's this?
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. I can't remember his name.
Jay something, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, J Dog Musa.
That's it.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
that's it.
Legend of the podcast.
Legend, right? But he
always bringing up J Dog.
Never heard of
I was on the Callum Oakley episode. I always talk about J Dog.
He basically called some woman a slag, didn't he, or something?
A big fat slag.
Big fat slag. Yeah. Shut up, you big fat slag, or something like that.
He just talking all the way.
There was murder.
He told him. He said, "This is what I'm going to do." I said, "Don't do that." Now I'm just going to fucking tell the fat bitch. So he went out. He went, "Hey, you big fat slag," and then she started crying. Yeah. And then they threw him out.
Come off.
You just come off, hadn't you?
Done all right. Got away with it.
Is this in Blackburn or somewhere?
It was a burger joint just on the outskirts of Blackburn.
Yeah. He does a few around there.
He got throughout the gig, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then you had to go
out of his own gig.
Yeah. Compare got lashed out by the owner of the place. You can't go down to calling women that.
It wasn't the gig I died, that was it? With Robin Thompson. Oh, you went on then. No,
wasn't that one, no.
That was Israel was in Southport. Yeah, so they
sorry.
They threw him out and then they fed the offended woman. You know, you can't go.
You gave her a bottle of Prosecco.
I got a bottle of Prosecco and a free burger. And
Full English.
He was okay with that. A bottle of Prosecco and a free burger.
Yeah.
Oh, and I walked
as if they've gone to there's someone who's gotten your big fat slag and they've given her a bottle of Prosecco and a fucking burger and chips. What are you doing?
Yeah, throw some chips on it.
She was happy. And then Colin had to go on.
She was a bit fat slag.
It was quite a rowdy gig, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then you just told them all to F off and walked off. And they all got on the feet to give you a standing ovation to come back on.
Yeah. That's never happened since. But they started fighting with each other because there was people over in the corner who were all talking. Apparently the sound was crap, they couldn't hear us. So when I walked off, they all started going, hey, you fucking swat. Started kicking off. Then I came back on to a standing ovation.
You did, yeah.
Hang on, who was on the bill? So J-Dog's compare.
Yeah.
You're opening.
No, I wasn't opening.
Is this 5 people on
That
bill?
was
the small lad?
Steve Thingy.
I don't know people's names.
Oh, Steve Linton.
Yeah.
Oh, him.
Yeah, he was on.
He's got a bit of a rep, I think, hasn't he?
He's a black fella.
Brass.
I can't remember.
Fucking hell, this is the big fat slag. Black fella.
Yeah, we don't know
the names.
It's a very toxic gig, this.
Yeah.
She might not have been a slag.
She probably wasn't.
Well, I don't know. She was very happy to get some Prosecco.
First part, this was definitely true.
Yeah.
So you don't know who else was on the bill?
It was the guy. His name's Pete something or other. His real name's like Blagan something or other. He's like a Kenyan prince or something.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He used to play some like African general or something.
They literally lashed him out, and his mate who was just with him had to do the comparing after that.
Yeah. Well, he's like the guy who does the sound.
What's that guy called?
He's from Manchester.
Britain's Got Talent, wasn't he?
No, not him. No,
not him.
No, I can't remember his name. His name was something Pete. It's not his real name. I used
President
to play like
Abonjo?
No, not him. No.
Right.
No, it was some guy from Manchester, but it was just
somebody ripping off President Abonjo.
No.
Ended to be an African prince.
He is like an African.
He was in real life, yeah. He was some sort of, he'd left his village chief or something. Yeah.
It wasn't that guy that did the frog, was it? Do you remember that one that...
No.
He did used to do the frog. He used to have like weird references, like, it's like when you're chasing a tiger.
Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah, that is
bitten by a snake and all that.
That is them.
Africa Zulu.
Yeah, that's him, yeah.
This is a great bill.
Yeah.
I'd love to get this on an ensemble bill now. Havey, Finnegan, Africa Zulu.
Yeah, but he like proper got a cob and got off.
Stick him in the corner of a boozer.
Got off.
Yeah.
And then
you go back up to
standing ovation to get him back on.
No, I didn't come. I don't even go. In about a year. The lad who does the sound with him, he got up and compared it.
Yeah.
Because he threw the original compare out.
Proper threw him out, out of the building.
Yeah.
Out the fire escape.
Yeah.
Was he getting? Did he run the night? Was he meant to?
There was two of them that used to run it.
John
Steve.
Porter.
No, Steve Starkey, his name was.
Steve, yeah. That's
and he was all right. He was actually all right. But the fellow was a bit odd.
I love the open mics here. It's just fucking a Wild West, isn't it?
World of Comedy, they were called, weren't they?
World of Comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
All the gigs were awful.
I did one in an Indian restaurant while they were serving food.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, it was just the worst gig ever. And he was like, oh, we'll have to do it because we're not going to get paid. And I was like, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, for nothing. Anyway.
Was he a bit of a shyster, was he then?
I don't know, really. I mean, you're new to it, and you've got to take whatever gigs you can get.
Because I think
you know what
gig
I mean?
we did where I died for that third gig.
Social club thing upstairs.
I think it was Jim Bays was closing. I don't know whether he was getting paid or something. But I think it was like a Friday night and it was like open mic comedy sort of basically, wasn't it? So I think he must have just maybe been trying to make a quick buck every now and then.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see him now. I don't know. He's disappeared now.
Like Hughes, he just goes from pub to pub saying, give me this much money and I'll put a comedy night on till you kick me out.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, it was a blinding gig there.
Yeah.
It was fucking murder, wasn't it? You do loads of shit gigs when you
do loads.
When you first start.
What made you? How long did you do it for before you sort of jacked it in?
I don't think you should have jacked it in personally.
Well, thanks, Alan. Do you know any gigs?
No.
But, I started in 2014.
Just one every Sunday, like.
Yeah. And then I started doing a gig.
It's a rough one. No,
yeah, the women punching each other.
Oh yeah.
I'll wait for the other episode for that. And then I stopped gigging end of 2018.
So you did like 4 years. You did that. That's 3 to 5 years is what they generally say, isn't it? And then you make a call, don't you?
You decide to get anywhere with it.
I just decided I preferred doing my own stuff. I was all right. Like I wasn't.
Right.
How do you find comparing your stuff now? Now you're not gigging regularly, sort of thing. Like obviously we'll take people away. Just
on
normal, because I don't think you normally sound, aren't you?
I'm normally do all right. Well, it's okay. The other things that I run, the one in Run Corner, the one in Aylesbury, everyone knows who I am.
Yeah,
and I'm all right.
I find that harder. I hate that.
No,
I used to run one in Waterloo, and it just be like the people come and be like 80% my mates,
right? No,
and 20% people who just like wandered upon the night. Yeah, and it's just dead hard because it's like, what do you say to people that are like, I speak to you every day.
Yeah, well,
I've got nothing new.
I've like a loyal, like a regular 60 or 70 people that come to Aylesbury, and there's pretty much always new people there.
Oh, that's good.
So, and they just like me there, so I can get away with it. Nice. You know what I mean? And I like to think I'm quite a likable person.
In Waterloo, I was doing I was singing Sam Smith and everything when I was trying to compare. Yeah, I was being like, I sound like Sam Smith when I sing, and just started doing it just because I was literally struggling to think of things to talk about.
Now, and what I do in the middle bit, someone put me onto this, is I do a joke competition.
Oh yeah.
So because I haven't written a joke since fucking 2018.
To get the audience to do it.
So I get them to do it, and I'm quite good at it, like talking to. Well, obviously, forget about Bootle, but when people come up on the stage, I'm good at interacting with people.
Yeah. So should you get them to come up and do their own joke?
Well, no, I read them out, and then I intentionally fuck a few up to make it.
Yeah.
And then I get two people up on the stage, and they have a bit of a cheer off, and then you get a prize and all that stuff. So I just do that, and then before the last act comes on, I'll just do like 2 or 3 minutes, and then bring them on.
Yeah,
job done. Not all about you, is it? As a compare, kids, remember that.
That's it.
And then I was actually speaking. I was saying to you about the BGT thing. Do you remember when we spoke about you saying that they own everything you do?
Yeah,
they don't anymore. Because I was in London. You know the guy that just got golden buzzer.
That had nothing to do with what we just been talking.
I know, yeah, but I was just moved on. You know, that's how I move on the podcast.
That's
how I like to do it. I'm going to ask him something weird again that has nothing to do with anything in about 15 minutes time.
So go on, so BGT,
so anyway,
you don't own your stuff anymore. The lad who got the golden buzzer.
Yeah, the lad who got the golden buzzer was there. So I think whatever happens at Top Secret is the guy who gets the golden buzzer, the guy who books it just says come down, do 5 and just work it all out or something. So speaking to him, and he was saying this is the first year that they've sort of gone, you don't own anything, are you now? They've completely stopped trying to sign the comic side of things.
Oh, right.
So he just literally says they go on there.
Signs one, isn't it? That's what they said.
Yeah.
They said, don't worry about it. We've never signed one in the history of it. So
yeah. So I think
we're not likely to do it now.
Because I think that would probably be a deterrent.
Yeah, most of them signed for gag, yeah.
He's not with gag, but
I didn't because I wasn't that good.
You were at first.
Yeah, but he's been at it 12 years, like he said. So he's just, And then he just said they said they shortlisted him. So they said, listen, if you just do it, you don't have to go through the trial. Auditions and they just said
what happened to me. I didn't go through trial.
Straight into the front of the judges.
Straight in front of the judges.
And boom. And then that's what happened to him. So and they tried to see. I said to him about like, did they suggest? He said they tried to suggest things to you and say, do more about family, do more about this, and he was just like, no. And they went, all right then, fine, do what you want.
I guess I listened to them too much.
Yeah. I saw Nick Page write about that because he went on it. I mean, he done really well at the first one, but then when he went on the second one, he struggled a bit. But he said they gave him jokes to tell. Yeah. He said it was the worst thing I ever done because he didn't do that well. But they were there. They weren't his jokes, but they made him do it.
They gave me one to do, and they said they were going to have a stained glass window behind me. And then on the day, they just said, we couldn't find one, so just forget that. And I was
and was the joke about the stained glass window?
I can't even remember. It was rubbish.
Yeah.
But it was just like, they just didn't get it, you know what I mean? So it was like changed.
Because you were on during the lockdown. COVID, so there was nothing, no one to bounce off either, was there? So that would have made it worse.
A silent room.
Yeah.
You know, they had the big wall of, I've said this last time, didn't I? They had the big wall with all the faces on, which were about this big each, so I couldn't even see you.
You couldn't see
anyone. I was, and it was just quiet because there was a delay, 7-second delay, and if you said something, they heard it and laughed. Or not laughed. The case may be, you know. So it was just an empty room. It was awful. I really struggled.
Mike Null refused to do it, didn't he?
Yeah, he dropped out.
He got through and he went, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, he dropped out because
there was no audience
level.
So, I don't know, do BGT now?
Are you going to do it, are you, yeah? You Love Island stuff, yeah?
Am I shy? I said to him, though, were you not terrified of the fact that they did it, that if you don't take what they suggest, they'll just butcher you in the edit? And he was like, nah. And then I don't know how he felt.
Yes, if you get them laughing,
safe with it.
It's hard to butcher you, isn't it?
It isn't because they could just get reaction shots. Just sat there,
quietness,
literally nothing. What they could do in the edit there, they could kill you.
Yeah, they can.
I couldn't do it because they'd just kill me. I just know they'd kill me.
This is you and your conspiracy.
Yeah. But then all I'd do is I'd just threaten suicide. Say, if you dare butcher me in this edit, and I'll take my own life.
You know you've had a bad gig when they send the counsellor in after.
So as we were saying on the Patreon, because Alan's just recorded the Patreon with us because
patreon.com/1 podcast. Hear that? We thought we'd get a Baptist minister to answer some of your toxic questions.
But you were saying about you get threatened for being stabbed quite a lot being a Baptist minister now, don't you?
Yeah, I was explaining it. The area where I live. It's next door
to Bootle, so it's
still classed as Bootle, although they hate being classed as Bootle.
People
it's no, it's not Bootle, it's Netherton, but it's Bootle. But it's like, so it's not one of the best places in the world, so it's not like Formby, you know what I mean?
Although that is not what it used to be.
Is there a Baptist church in Formby?
I think there is.
I think there might be.
You don't
they wouldn't want me.
You're not friendly with them?
No, not really. You don't
know how they're getting on?
No, I don't no idea how they're getting on. There is one.
You're not all interconnected and all that? Like, you all know each other?
They're quite independent.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they all kind of, a lot of them keep themselves to themselves and that. They all run independently and that. And,
right, that's why he's a skint then?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I'm skint because we're in Netherton.
The one in Formby won't be skint.
So, that's what I mean.
Food banks over there, will they?
If you're all interconnected, maybe the one in Formby could bung you something.
No, not a chance.
No.
Tories, aren't they?
Not what it used to be, mate. Told you where it's at now. Ainsdale, Birkdale, Hillside, mate.
Is that where you're moving next?
No, but that's where it's at now. Because the Scousers won't go to the PR postcode.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, they won't move out of the L. They'll stay on the very edge of the L. We're still Liverpool there.
Yeah.
But then if that Formby becomes PR, which there was talk about that, wasn't there? It might be slipping into PR.
Want to be PR.
They'll all flood back into Hightown and Ormskirk and everywhere, mate. They don't want to go into the PR. Once you become PR, you're dead to, innit? Can't be in a PR postcode. So why are you being stabbed?
We get people who are like, they've got are they proper problems.
What's the scariest one you've got, like the most furthest it's got to?
The scariest one was me and my assistant minister who was new at the time. Yeah. We had to go and talk to a lad about like safeguarding stuff. So we went round.
Nonce.
No, safeguard.
Vulnerable nonce.
All I can say is safeguard.
Vulnerable nonce. Where you're thinking like he doesn't even know he's going to be a nonce.
All he can say is safeguard.
All I can say is safeguard.
Take the fucking hint.
Right.
Absolutely not.
So
we're here to expose the nonces of Bootles.
I had to go round to his house and have a chat with him, and we went round and we have to have policies in place.
Why do you have to do that?
Because they've got rights.
Right. So are they asked for a minister or something after you, or like?
No, they turn up, and one of the things is they turn up and they instantly tell you their issues.
Right.
I can't say too much.
Yeah.
So they instantly tell you their issues because they know they've got to.
Right.
Because if they turn up and don't tell you and you find out later, then you've got more power to say on your bike.
Yeah, right.
But they've got...
So they get there a bit up front with you?
Yeah, if they're up front with you, you then have to put... I then have to put policies in place.
Is this like a confession?
People. Yeah, it's a professional thing.
No, is this like a confession?
No, it'll just be like... They'll just stop and tell you.
That's what I mean. Can you just turn them off the street and be like, listen, this is what's going on with me?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that kind of happens, and then what you have to do is you have to put policies in place, okay? Yeah. And the policies are all laid out, but one of them is a contract. Yeah. Because unless they break the contract, you can't ask them to leave, unless you can't fulfill the contract properly.
Right.
Because it's against their.
When you say ask them to leave, do you mean leave coming to the church?
Leave coming to the church. Yeah. Right. So it's a contract, and you go through it with them, and then they have to sign it. Yeah. And we were going through the contract in his house. That might have been a bad idea. Because we were literally sat there, and he's got this 12-inch kitchen knife on the table. honest, 12-inch. And he's talking to us.
12-inch kitchen knife is scary.
But and his massive cock as well.
I'm just really glad you said inch. That's all I'm saying. Because when you said 12, I went, fuck.
No. We've established this man in question's a paedophile, although he isn't.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
It's got a 12-inch knife.
We're going to assume.
As he's talking to us and we're going through each thing, and there's about 20 things on the list that you have to say, this is what you can and this is what you can't do. and he's sort of asking the boundaries of them questions, and they're quite stayed to make sure there isn't boundaries. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that if he breaks them,
yeah,
he's done, basically. Anyway. So, and as he's talking to us, he's just tapping this knife on his kitchen table, and we're sat on a couch, just like over there.
How old's this person?
I'd rather not say, because it might identify him.
Is he younger than you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's not in his 50s. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to establish the level of threat. So is he like mine, Simon's age sort of thing, or
he's basically just
Simon's age?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. I won't admit my age.
Yeah.
You're probably older than you look. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So he kept.
Older than I
he's
look.
literally tapping this knife all the time as we're talking to him. And then at one point we said something, and the fella who was with it said it to him, and he took it quite badly. He started crying.
Yeah.
And he picked the knife up and he looked at us, and he sort of like turned around and shoved it in a drawer, and then sat back down dead quick.
Put it in the drawer, stab the drawer.
No, put it in the drawer and shoved the drawer.
Oh, right.
Dead quick. And he sat down again, and he just sat there, and then we went through, we finished it all, and we got off.
Yeah.
And mate, he was
Like us with the Patreon questions. We don't know and I'll get through these.
quite new at the time. He said to me, "Mate, what do you think he was going to do with the knife?" I said, "Well, he was going to stab you." And he went, "Why me?" I said, "Because you were nearest to him. Did you not know? I sat further away from him when we got there. That's called experience, mate." And I'd have been well gone. I was by the door.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's the closest I've come. I've had a few where they want to.
So with this contract thing, what does it mean? Like if they do or say anything, you have to give them to the police, or what?
Yeah.
Right. So
they've got to follow certain rules, which is all about they can't be alone and all that type of stuff.
What's your professional?
They have to literally be chaperones around your building, and we don't. This is the only time I've been there 30 odd years, and this is the only.
So
one
when they
contract
come
I've
to
ever had
the
write, so it's not
right. So this is a contract for when they come to the church.
Yes, if they attend anything at the church.
What's your professional?
Okay.
This is
what's the
word?
Heavy, innit? It was dead light, the first one.
Yeah.
What's your professional? What's the word? Commitment to something that someone tells you then, and in regards to police and stuff like that. Like what do you have to do, or what can't you do, sort of thing, or got to be kept between you.
Whenever you're doing any conversation, you start with whatever. I can't keep it confidential if you're going to hurt someone else or yourself.
Right.
So that's where you start, and they say, "I want to confidential." Everything else can be kept, but if I think they're going to hurt someone else or themselves, I have to.
Well, it's not speaking to you then. That's the whole fucking point, isn't it? When you've done
30 minutes, like, nice one, that's been another paper.
You've done something terrible, you want somebody to upload on me.
Yeah, but you're not going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
I know a guy who I think's
yourself or someone else.
Yeah. There's someone in my family that's doing bad things, and
you can't just ignore if they're going.
What would you do if they came and told you?
I had one fella. I've just thought of this now.
Yeah.
He came, and I used to have like a men's group, and they were all like, I hope no one sees this. They were all like the kind of oddballs. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So they were all a little bit odd. They weren't.
Yeah.
So I used to run this men's group with them, and we just talk about faith and stuff like that. And I had this.
Sounds like my depressed dad's group when I talk them stand
probably kinds of thing, yeah. And this one week, he was the only person who turns up.
Depressed dads.
Yeah. Literally the only person who turns up.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he's literally sat there and he went, a bit like you're saying there.
This stabby man?
No, this is a different fella. He said, do you think God would be upset with me if I did something that was really bad, but it was for a good cause? Right, seriously. And I went, I don't know, you'll have to tell me what you mean. And he went,
God being the police.
Well, no, he was literally like
the cause being murder.
Well, I'm thinking of going around killing nonces and rapists. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Do you think God would be upset with me? I said, are you serious? He went, I've thought it through. I've been watching that CSI and that. I'd proper like Vaseline all my eyebrows and all that. And I'd wear a suit. They'd never catch me. And I was
What's the Vaseline on the eyebrows?
Never catch
so
me.
that you don't, if they stay on, they don't fall off.
So like, no, your eyebrows fall off.
Your eyebrows fall off.
Right, so, and I was sitting there thinking, is he winding me up this fella or what? This is in me kitchen, right?
I mean, he hasn't thought it that far through, because if nonsense and murderers start getting killed, you got a good idea who it might fucking be, then, haven't you?
Well, I have, yeah. And he's like... So
would you have to say something then?
Probably, yeah.
If there was a spate of killings and then these people have been convicted.
I wondered if he meant it.
No, because he's in Everton and so he can't grass as well.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, but would you have to?
There's a law in the church and there's a law in the land.
Right. So where would you stand on that?
I said to him, literally, are you messing? Or are you serious? And he went, no, I'm deadly serious. And I was thinking, I've got a serial killer in my kitchen.
Shit. Well, no, he wants to be.
Well, I want to be a serial killer.
Be fair to him.
So if somebody said that to you, and then 6 months later,
it's not confidential if
you're
going to hurt someone or yourself.
But if you don't know he's done it or anything, and you just said he said this to me 6 months ago, or that just you being a grass.
No, I think I'd have to say something.
Right.
I'd be a grass as well, but I think I'd have to say something.
Okay,
yeah, I think I'd have to
How
say
many
something.
people in Everton do you think are nonsense and rapists? Yeah. To go, fucking hell, that's a spate.
Hang on, let me go through my list. Your uncle, for one.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear.
It's on your dad's side, never mind.
Yeah, I know, that's it.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Right, well...
Are you calling ever fancy killing a nonsense rapist?
Well, I wouldn't turn it down. I suppose, I don't know. Never have.
Bit of light Monday evening question in there.
The chance has never presented itself.
No.
So,
No.
I mean, no, it's too much fucking effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to prove it, haven't you?
It's knowing them. That's the first. I always think that when the comedy industry, when they say, oh, so-and-so's a rapist, like, oh, I didn't have a fucking clue. I feel like I've not done me
due diligence.
Yeah. Like, oh, so-and-so is like, oh, touching axe, and you're like,
yeah,
gig with them loads. I feel like I'm an enabler now.
Yeah, maybe not
because I didn't have a fucking
target
clue.
market, Rob. Perhaps
yeah, possibly.
No one's touched me up either, unfortunately. That's the only reason I got into it was for the touching up. It never happened to me.
What do you do now besides promote gigs?
I work for a software company.
Right.
It's fucking boring.
Oh, aye. That sounds nancy as well.
Well, yeah, I'm not a nerd or anything. I just sell contracts for them. But I've been to America a few times with this. That's all right.
Sounds.
Chicago, in there.
Favorite place?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Well, that's where the head office is. So,
right.
We're there a few times pre-pandemic.
You did go to Edinburgh and do an hour, didn't you? So that's something he's done that we haven't done in comedy.
Yeah,
that was about your debt, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2012. Yeah, which I get rid of that in November.
How much debt did you get into?
I had just under 30 grand. What
would the church do if someone come in going like, listen, I'm drowning in debt?
Are you asking this for a mate?
we've again.
Somebody bought too much IPTV and couldn't flog it or something. What would happen then?
We've got people we can refer them to and that.
Yeah.
So there's an organisation called CAP, Christians Against Poverty.
Yeah.
Who do the kinds of debt management stuff that maybe Colin got involved in with a different type of one.
Yeah, Step Change Director.
Yeah.
Really
but it'll be a similar thing where they take the calls on then off all the debt collectors and tell you to just send all the bills and that to them, and they come up with a weekly or monthly contract of how much you've got to pay back to get a lot of it reduced at least or cancelled and then they work towards getting out of debt over a period of time.
Yeah, they just take on the debt.
Yeah.
And there's no interest or anything, and then the banks stop hassling you.
Yeah.
So I was paying.
How bad? Obviously, 30 grand was like. How bad was it? Like, so were they chasing you and not a bailiff?
It was getting to the point where that would have happened. Not bailiffs or anything, because basically I was living on credit cards for like 8 months.
Right.
Because I changed jobs. I went from earning like 36,000 or 30 odd K a year.
Yeah.
Took a risk to change jobs, and then it didn't work out. So I was like half my wages in a few months.
So what was the point in losing that like comfortable check to go to sort of half the thing?
Because the idea was eventually I would have started earning more money because I was in sales, you see.
Right, so you're planning on a commission sort of.
Basic was the same.
Yeah.
But it was like I shouldn't have done it really, but yeah. So I had a house that.
How old were you at that?
I was 39. I turned 40 that year.
So you were comfortable up until like 39, and then you did this switch.
Well, I was doing all right, but I started I wasn't earning quite as much money because my head got turned a little bit, so I started earning less money, but I carried on spending the same, thinking, It'll turn around.
Right, okay.
I started having ideas of getting into comedy, so I thought, well, I don't need this because within 6 months, I'll probably be on television or something. And then
I think we all live with that little glimmer of hope, don't we? That it'll all work out.
So was it why you started stand-up? That you started
well, I was doing comedy writing at the time. We had a few plays put on the local theatre and that. So I thought, well, within 12 months, I'll probably be writing 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps or something. But so my head got turned, and then so it started spiraling over a year or two before. And then I got a house that I rented out that got fucking trashed.
Yeah.
I had to get a new roof on it. It was all going on credit cards.
Yeah.
The person moved out. It was empty. It was just loads. It was just a combination of everything.
Was it one person that was on there in that rented house, or was it like a family, or what was it?
There was just a couple of people. Well, they didn't. It got trashed a few times, not by them to be fair, but so I had to spend $2,500 on a new roof. Then it was empty, so I was paying 2 mortgages on half the wages.
Yeah.
So I was living. I was basically going to cash point, getting 200 quid out on each credit card, or 100 quid on each one, going into the bank and paying the credit card bill off.
Robbing Peter to pay.
Yeah. And in the end, they just said, "Look, you can't do that anymore. It's like we stopped, just spend." So I was earning like 1,200 quid a month. Bear in mind, I was taking about 2,000 quid a month before 6 months earlier.
Yeah.
And I was paying out just under £900 on credit cards and loans and stuff. So I had 300 quid to pay 2 mortgages.
So was there something like, did you feel as though it was you living beyond your means? Or was it?
Well, it was a combination. I spent $5,000 on the house. I had to get damp proofed. It was just bad luck, really, So it was a combination of me overspending and then this fucking house.
So how did you end up?
That happened to some Westlife guy, didn't he? He invested all his money in property, and then the crash happened, and he just lost everything.
I don't think it would have been a terraced house in Runcorn. No, I
think it was like a big estate.
So how did you end up like? So did the bank put a stop to it, and then you just had to?
Well, the credit card company
getting out of it, sort of thing.
So it was
chasing you.
That's when Alan mentioned that. So I rang up the Royal Bank of Scotland because when I was doing well, the banks, especially them, I'm glad they fucked up.
Just give you money left, right, and centre.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, come in and we'll have a meeting. How are you getting on?"
I have a similar thing, right? So
don't do anything with them
because
where can you go though?
Well, it's when you're doing well. They're like,
they just try and throw money.
It's like Louis C.K.'s bit. If you got money, they'll give you more money. If you've got no money, they'll take more money from you.
Right. So when I was in uni,
it's like Louis C.K.'s was so funny.
When I was in uni, I had like an overdraft.
Yeah.
And it was a student account, and like you're paying no interest on it when you're a student and all that. And then obviously when you start paying interest. But like I just fucking didn't think nothing of it, so I just stopped paying it. Like stop being a student, opened another account and went, well, that student account, I'm not a student anymore, so that's just gone.
Right, yeah.
$3,000 debt, just like, oh, fuck it, I'm not arsed.
Yeah.
Let them like chase me. And like in the end, that's like just like some sort of prepayment structure back. So I ended up having to like repay them. So I ended up paying them off. But I didn't realise. So I just thought when you had bad credit, you just had bad credit forever. I just thought that's what it was. But every 5 years, I didn't know resets. So like I had that from when I was like 21. Then when it's 26, I went into the bank and I was like, I don't know what I was going to the bank for, but they were like, oh, can we speak to you? And I was like, yeah, of course you can. And I think they're going to tell me off for something.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you want this credit card? Do you want that? Do you want this credit card? Do you want that overdraft? And I'm like, I literally said to the girl, you know my credit shit, don't you? Like, I was like, I want it all, yeah. Because like
they say, look at this chump, we can fucking ruin this cunt. Get him in and give him more money.
Because I'm going, I want it all, and they're like, oh no, and they're like, I've put me credit shit, love. Listen, what do you think you can give me? You can't. And she's going, I'll give you the $5,000 credit card today and stuff like that. We give you $2,500 overdraft. Yeah. And I'm like, you've already given me, like another bank's already given me $2,500 overdraft, and I laughed at them after I spent it. I said, and she's like, no, like, so she pulls up a computer and she goes, your credit's amazing. I don't know what you're on about. I was like,
I didn't know that.
I was like, what do you mean? And then I explained to her, no, love, I defaulted on an overdraft. Like, I was like being dead straight with her. I was like, my credit can't be good. And she goes, when was that? And I was like, oh, when I was a student, when I was 21. She's like, well, you're 27 now. What happens is after 5 years, it all just resets.
She's probably lying.
No, it's true. After 5 years, it all just resets. And she said, so what's happened the last 2 years? All you've done is put cash into your account. All you've done is put money in your account and paid your bills. Said, so it literally just looks like you're cash rich. Because all you're doing is putting cash in your account. You haven't got no debt. You've got no credit or nothing. You're just paying everything. And all the money's just going.
But I've never got anything on like credit. So therefore, what my rating's meant to be shit because they've never had that.
No, your rating's sound, but they won't lend you money until you've had it.
Right, okay.
So what they do is they go, Well, we don't know because once we.
So I'm just like at 50 out of 100. I'm just at 50.
No, you'll be like,
I'm not at like
you'll be
90.
like 75 or something.
Right.
But what it'll be like.
They won't take direct debits or anything.
No, it'll be an asterisk. So you'll be like, you'll have your credit score.
Right.
And the asterisk next to he's never had, because what they'll say is, well, we don't know what you're like. We give you money.
Might not pay.
You might be sound with your own money. But once we give you ours, you might go, I'm not paying that.
So they'd probably give you a card, but with a low.
You see, I've only ever wanted an overdraft. It was when I was going into I was going DR, and then as soon as you get money, you go, I don't need the overdraft, so I'm not going to bother applying. Like now, I've got to apply for one. Whereas when I needed one, it was like, you can't have one. Yeah. It's like, fuck this.
Well, it's the thing that's so like.
But then they go like, well, it's just Ladbrokes, mate. Is it?
That's the thing. Here's the best thing. She goes to me, how much did you earn? And I went, I'll give it a rough amount of how much you earn. She's like, sounds like, let me just go on your statement. And she goes, Sky Bet, money in, money in, money in, money in, money in. Because I must have had a good month, so that we can count all that as income.
Well, I pay me money in for my Santander account. That's where the money in comes from, Santander. And I cash out onto the HSBC.
She literally said...
I bet now it's just PayPal.
She literally said, will that count as income? And I was like, what? And she's like...
Fucking hell.
So I'm like,
gambling money is
income. Back in the day.
So the next day it was like 27. So next day she gives me a £6,000 credit card. And she said, do you want an overdraft? And I was like, just give me the credit card. I'll leave the overdraft for now. Like I knew myself sort of thing. I just went away and just like I just fucking blew the £6,000 credit card within 6 months. And I was just like, why have I like?
So what year? How old are you, Rob?
I'm 35 now.
So it wasn't that long ago, really. That because when I was lending money, it was like pre-2008. You know, you had that big crash. And I had like 105% mortgage on my house and everything. Just throw money at everybody. Throw money at people. I bought my house for 30 grand. By the time I'd moved to this flammable flat I live in now with the fucking cladding on it. Yeah. My house was valued at 95 grand, but I'd had a mortgage for 70 because I just kept remortgaging to pay my bills off and stuff. And having
I don't understand any of it.
But now it's all stopped because of the crash. They were just basically gambling people's lives.
But it's stopped with the mortgage, but they're still just happy to just give you credit cards.
Yeah, I can get credit now.
I know someone who lives like, you know, the way I just said about the 5-year thing, because I didn't know about it till the bank told me. And I literally told the woman I've defaulted on overdraft, and she still gave me a £6,000 credit card. It's just fucking mental.
That's how,
and then like, and then the next thing is, I spoke to my mate, and my mate was like, I say my mate, he's my dad's mate. He's about 50 odd. He went, I've lived like that since I was 20. I 6 years it gets wiped. I get the biggest credit card I can get. I fucking blow it. I fucking blow it, and then I refuse to pay it.
Don't you have to pay it back then?
What? Because
you were okay because you were paying it off.
I think it does get like that though. I would be like that. I think you get to a point. It's kind of like when you say like you're a nonce or you're a murderer. Yeah. You go like, I've done it now.
Come back to nonsense again.
Well, like it's like once you go over the line. And you go, this, like being a criminal, you go like, I'm just going to live this rock star lifestyle.
Like once I learned how easy it is to shoplift.
Yeah. So you're going like, right, I'm 30 years old. I'm this far into being a drug dealer. Yeah. I'm just going to live my life on this fucking knife edge 24/7 until I get killed or put in jail. I'm just going to enjoy it whilst I can.
I've got mates who'd rather be in jail than out. They like it better in jail.
Why?
Family.
Structure.
Why?
It's just better.
Taking the bills off the stress.
I had one of my family who's no longer with us. He's died now, but he literally said, I miss being in jail at Christmas, you know, with the lads. And I just looked at him and thought, what can you do with him? You can't do nothing with him. Yeah. But you can never stop him from
robbing just wants
stuff.
the camaraderie, doesn't he?
Because he'd rather be in jail. Sending him to jail is exactly what he wants.
Well, I think that's what happened though, is you just go, I can't do this. Like you go, I cannot work out how I'm going to get enough money to live. So I'm just whatever they're going to give me, I'll get and deal with it tomorrow. Yeah. Like you just got to live your life. You go like, there's no way out. You go like you're sitting there going, how am I going to get out of this? I'm literally robbing that money.
An example that there is a way out.
Yeah, these debt recovery things.
It turns to crime already.
You started just doing comedy gigs and that, innit? And then just
go back to your call in the Royal Bank of Scotland. Then and what happened?
Yeah, so I rang them up because they're always like you said, they can't do enough for you when you're earning money.
Yeah.
So I rang them up and said, look, my credit cards are maxed out. This is the situation that I'm in. I said, we recommend that you ask the credit cards for more money. I said, well, they're not going to give me more money. Yeah. I said, well, there's nothing we can do then. So I rang my mum, just turned 40, rang my mum.
Good old bank of mum and dad, innit? I
was working in recruitment outside Barn Street at the time, and I started crying on the phone to
Hayes.
Just turned 40, Oh, God. I can tell you about that fucking place.
Yeah, we'll get into them.
And then my mate got up, They
got me work.
Got me, did they? My mate got me onto the step change direct. Yeah. So then my outgoings went from, on the debt, from like just under 900 quid to like 120 quid a month.
Fucking hell.
How does that work? What do they fucking do?
They stop the interest.
They stop all the interest.
They get some of the debt cancelled.
They basically buy...
They didn't cancel it.
They buy the debt, don't they?
But is this just like a little thing at the top where they're going...
There's a few different things that you can do. You still have to pay it all back.
Have to pay.
But I would have been paying it till I was like, at that time, till I was 77. So I ran my mum, right? So I've sorted it all out now. Said I'll pay it back by the time I'm 77. She said, with a bit of luck, you'd be dead before then.
Kill me, fuck that.
Said you'd be dead by then too. We'll be laughing.
77.
But now I'm like, this was 10 years ago. I'll finish paying for it in November. Very good. Because I started to get in better jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there is always that, isn't there? Try and earn more.
Well, there was that. Yeah,
Rob sushi.
Yeah, and you have to do a review every year, so you don't tell them everything.
Oh, I ignore them when they do reviews.
Yeah, but I done that because I want to.
What do you mean?
Well, because right now they have to be responsible, so they're not taking more money off you. So it used to be back in the day that they'd go, oh, you can afford 20 quid, but when you give 30, you'll be paid off quicker.
Oh, that shit, I've heard
no,
of that,
these fellas don't. They've changed it.
No, that's what I mean, but now you have to be responsible.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So they take all your incomes, all your outgoings, and they go, you've got X amount left at the end of the month you can afford to pay off.
Yeah.
I've heard people leave that job because they said this is the most unethical thing. They're going, we can get an extra tenner.
This is like...
Step change director at charity. And they're sound. If anyone, people have spoke to me about it. Like, if anybody wants to get in touch, get me details later on.
I'm sure it was a comic that was in that job.
There was they're not a debt collection agency or anything. They take all that from you. So you do a review every year of how much you can afford, and no one really knows how much. For the first couple of years, I wasn't earning that much money.
Yeah,
so I'm convinced no one knows anything about who owes what.
No, they don't.
There's got to be someone
they know how much you owe.
All of that and the system.
They know how much you owe, but they don't know
talking about people
how much you earn.
Tell you from over there how to speak before.
If
you owe 20 quid to them.
No, this is the point, Alan. It's the fact that they all go, yeah, we'll write that off. They're in touch with the banks. These people that are rating off the debts are the people that are actually the bank anyway, and they go,
no, they're not.
No, what you're missing?
You say that, no, but trust me, mate.
I'm not fucking trusting you.
What you're thinking about?
When it all comes out, we go, oh, that's like an episode of Black Mirror. Was he said it anyway?
You're thinking about debt collecting agencies. What debt collecting agencies do is buy your debt.
Yeah, so say you all connected.
Say you owe
all these lizards at the top.
Say you owe $5,000 to the bank. They'll go to the bank, go, listen, we'll give you the $1,000 for that $5,000 debt, and then we'll see how much we can get back.
Yeah.
And then the bank go, we can't be arse chasing it, So they take $1,000 on the $5,000,
and then knocks at your door.
So then
do your kneecaps. And then you get $8,000 off.
So yes, and the bailiffs turn up. So then bailiffs have always bought your debt. So, but the thing is, it's sort of better for them to buy your debt because you can make a deal with them. So you can always go. So like half the time you can go to them, right?
I don't understand how you go on. Yeah.
So they bought your debt to the bank. So they're now coming to you going, you owe us $5,000, and you're like, well, I owed that West $5,000. They're like, no. You owe us $5,000 now. It's been passed on to us. You owe us $5,000. Yeah. So then, that's what's a good thing is you can always go to them. All right, Sam, well, I'll give you $2,000 now to go away, and like
you can negotiate with them.
Call it quits. And they always
they're still $1,000 up.
Yeah, and as long as they've made money, they go, all right, sound, and take the money now. So they just go, all right, sound.
I just don't. Hang on. So you've $5,000 you got off HSBC. This company comes in and says, we'll give you £1,000.
We'll give HSBC £1,000 for that $5,000 debt.
Right, so where's the $4,000 gone?
They've just wrote
they just wrote it off. HSBC have wrote it off.
Because they basically say they're not going to get it off you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might not be exact figures, I guess. I don't know, but that's how it works.
But then why the bank just... That seems like, why am I not doing this now? Why don't I just go on $500,000 and then go, can you just write off that $450,000?
Yeah.
Because you do that, sets the president and the bank will never...
If you do that, they send you to jail.
Yeah. So you can negotiate, but I won't, because out of principle, I've lent it, so I'm going to pay it all back. Yeah. I could ring up now. I mean, I haven't got the money anyway, but I could say, I think I owe like $2,500. I could say, well, I've got 1,200 quid in the bank.
Yeah, do you want to leave me alone?
But I would rather, through principle, pay it all off because I lent it in the first place. So,
fuck off, Colin.
I lent it all, so.
Oh, I lent it. Fuck them. My principle will be fuck them.
I know.
Stupid cunts give me the money. I told them I've defaulted on an overdraft and she still give me $6,000. Yeah. Fuck her. I'll be literally going, go back to that stupid woman you had in the shop that literally said to her, do not give me this money, love, because I'm going to take it.
And then, I go to casino with it.
When I rang the bank actually and told them I'm going on this debt management plan, and this young fucking kid in a call centre said, if you go on there, I will destroy your credit rating. I said, you can fucking have me credit rating. I'd rather.
I haven't got a good one anyway.
You fucking
what
idiots.
credit rating, you knob?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's all good now. Like, I've nearly paid it all off. So, but it's fucking, it's horrible. I was living by myself. You know, if you're living with a partner or something, then
worst
you've got a bit of money. Yeah. Well, yeah, then you probably end up killing yourself.
And I've got no this, I can't get a this, I can't get a phone because of your credit.
Yeah, there are pluses and minuses to being in debt on your own and with a partner.
But then I ended up.
They're eating corned beef hash because you had a bad go on the golf.
The worst when you go to your babe, hey babe, do you mind putting your engagement ring on your credit? I can't get the credit for it right now. I know people who've done that.
I got a PPI claim through from the Royal Bank of Scotland as well.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought that was a myth.
No. So they wrote to, I had the store card for like principals. Remember
PPI
principals?
Yeah.
Like in 1997, there must have been about 200 quid in it before I went on holiday to Sulu, got some new trainers and whatever. Yeah. And they said, we think we've charged you PPI on that. Do you want to make a claim? So, okay, sound. So they sent me this form out. And they said, are there any other loans you want us to consider? So I just put everything. Big sob story. I used to go into the office and I felt pressured to take these loans, blah, blah, blah. It was so stressful going in. And then I started getting all these checks. There's like letters through saying, we owe you 30 quid off this.
Yeah.
Then it was like 800 quid. Got 3.5. In the end, it was 3.5 grand. And someone said to me, because I owe them all this money anyway, all they'll do is they'll just pay that off the debt. So, well, if nothing else, they'll pay some of the debt off. But they sent me a check by accident. Yeah. So my mum said, go to the bank and pay it back in. I went to Thailand instead. I had 3 weeks holiday in Thailand.
Good.
So I did fuck him off.
Well in Thailand, like we say.
Yeah. Still paying his debt off.
Still paying the kids off now.
That's 3.5 grand worth of lady boys. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you've done that. I feel better now.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a tit out there.
Yeah,
I just paid it back. I did go on holiday on them.
That West done a similar thing to me. Went, we owe you 120 quid. We'll take it off what we owe you. I was like, we'll take it off what you owe. I was like, right.
Yeah, I'm not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Although it was karma because I fucked my knee up.
What, in Thailand?
Fell off a moped getting chased by a ladyboy. I was pissed down coast, so maybe I drove into a ditch.
I've got to be honest, a lot of pictures I see of you on Facebook, you are usually wellied.
Yeah, generally, Friday and Saturdays I am, yeah.
So why was the ladyboy chasing you?
Look at me.
He owed the 200 quid.
Yeah, well, they come out later.
So they can set up a payment plan.
Yeah. He's on the phone to that fucking payment.
Have a sum up machine with him.
Back on the phone.
PPI claims coming in later. I'll give you that.
So why was she chasing you? Because she
wanted a piece, obviously. Yeah. Well, they come out at night. You see, like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because from a distance, they are fit.
Yeah.
They're all like 6 foot tall.
Yeah, that distance being a foot.
So you had 3 weeks.
Fit as fuck.
Yeah, 3 weeks in Thailand. At what age?
Well, this was like 5 years ago, so I was 44. I've been a few times, like. I had a mate.
Freddie Quinman did the same thing.
I have your mate used to own a bar over there.
Did you just go experience the culture and that?
Yeah.
Play a bit of pool.
Apparently, there are some prostitutes over there. That's what I heard.
Okay. Now we're getting into it, lad.
Yeah.
So the lady boys come out at night.
Yeah, because everyone's pissed.
Yeah.
They don't, well, some people probably don't even care.
Yeah.
So they come out on the street at night and they hope, you take them back and
pull them off.
Yeah, meeting 2 veg and all that out. And
how was it?
So
it was amazing. so tentative.
Yeah, but how
till he couldn't pay.
Yeah.
He had to rob a moped and leg it.
I was a bit moody actually. My mum doesn't know I'd done that. But
so did you go out?
Did you rob a moped?
No, I didn't rob it. I was
sucked the woman off.
I didn't rob the moped. Fucking hell, I'm Colin Havey. I'm not.
So did you just go out there on your own? Did you meet any mate?
No, well, my mate was over there for a couple of days.
Classic.
And then I went off because I'd been a few times, so I went travelling around by myself.
Right.
Yeah, I've been a few times, been on the bridge over River Kwai, which is full of Germans, which I thought was a bit cheeky.
Yeah, I know a fella that said there was a 60-stone German there with an 8-stone Thai woman.
Oh, right,
60-stone German.
Yeah. He was just sat at the breakfast table and he was just in a fucking...
You do see some sights like...
Just...
It's grim. Yeah. I genuinely... No.
It's grim,
like
says the person.
A god out there.
The person who's gone about fucking 15 times.
Yeah. No, I've been 5 times, I think.
Have you?
Yeah. I used to go all up because my mate owned a bar in Costa maybe. So
you're not ever going to convince me you're out there for the culture.
You can think what you
don't
want.
go to Thailand 5 times for
you don't
to
go
see your friend.
I won't let anybody go to Thailand for 3 weeks. If you're going, I'm not letting you go for culture. In my head. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you want, but in my head.
Though, at no point I've said I went over there for the culture.
No.
Yeah. I went to see his friend.
Yeah.
Who owned a bar.
Who owned a bar.
Yeah.
Next to a brass house. He could tell you some stories in fucking hell. said someone who was in his bar once and he got macheted by a ladyboy.
Fuck.
Yeah. They have
Is
no
that a
value.
sex move or like actually?
Well, yeah, it was like a half Nelson.
Euphemism.
Because he was winding her up, but then starts getting angry. Your mate's like, you need to fucking just get out the bar now.
Shit.
Because she'll fucking kill you. He's got, this is some gobby American, like, I don't give a shit, I'm not. And then this next minute comes round the back with a big fucking machete, chases him down the street. He would kill you over there.
That'd be so funny. I'm just gonna imagine him running down the street with a machete, cock and
bollocks hanging out.
Doing the fucking windmill, she's fucking chasing you down.
Kicks the heels off, fucking rips the wig off, and boom.
Yeah.
Did you ever get close to going? Like, did your mate not ever let you get close to going with a lady boy?
Well, when I first went, you just assume everyone's a lady boy.
Is that what it was?
Terrified. And my mate would be like, and you'd see someone who's really fit, my mate would be like, I think that's a bloke, that, when he knew it wasn't.
Yeah. I've got mates who've gone like for the culture.
Yeah.
And,
nobody ever goes for that.
And they've gone and got the girlfriend experience. It's the best they've ever It's the best experience of their life.
Right.
Like where you just get the same girl for 4 days and she does all your all your washing, cleaning, your laundry and all that. And then
I've heard of that for like a $5.
I never done any of that, Mum. Never done any of that. But if anyone says they're going to Thailand and they say they're going to Pattaya, then they're just going for filth.
Yeah.
That is all.
I know a guy that goes there for that.
Like coaches, maybe is like 50-50 filth and culture, if that's what you want to call it. Pattaya, I didn't like it, to be honest.
Why? Too much on top?
I was a god to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at me. That sounds fucking terrible. But it's just everywhere you went, you just couldn't go anywhere.
I like that Cole went to Thailand and got imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
But I know a guy that goes, literally just take them, they'll come golfing with you on the buggy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like, just like, you basically just hire them to just be there for 4 days. And they do whatever you want. They're like, what do you want me to do now? And you're like, I don't know, I can't be sucked off anymore. Me washing then. And
that's the kind of thing you go and do your away from. If you've got a missus at home, you want to get away from that. You don't want to go to holidays.
You don't, because in Thailand they don't talk back.
Well, they do.
No, they just get a machete out like no talking in Thailand. They piss them off, that's it.
You don't go, I don't know, I never done it. Like, you don't go on holiday to get a girlfriend, do you, surely? That's the last thing you want on your holiday.
We all know what Thailand's for, don't we?
Well, there's obviously there's a night scene there, Simon. Obviously,
you're not wanting to admit what you've been up to.
I never had a girlfriend over there.
He's trying his best to just keep it as minimal as possible.
I don't want to press people on what they get up to in Thailand. I already know. Do you know what I mean? I already know what happens in Thailand, so that's it.
Well, it's a great place, lovely beaches, nice food, nice people.
Yep, ride an elephant and that.
You can if you want. All shapes and sizes, Simon.
Do you know any ministers who've been to Thailand, Alan?
Of course he fucking does.
That's almost, honestly.
Don't you?
I honestly
they all
can't.
do it at home, don't they?
The most I've heard anyone talking about Thailand has been on this show.
Really,
a few times with Freddy Quinn and that.
Yeah.
It is popular amongst the straight white male.
Well, the straight white male, sort of, with certain look.
Well, carrying a bit of weight. Balls,
Balding, beard, alone.
All right, fucking hell.
Sorry.
So, you mentioned you're in your flammable flat.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with that then?
Well, it's supposed to be getting fixed, but they said we'll get it sorted, but they still haven't done it yet.
No date, no deadline.
No. And apparently there's been something around that the funding has been withdrawn or something. But we don't know. We think the Taylor Wimpy might be paying for it. I don't know. I don't get too bogged down with it because there's not much I can do about it.
Can you never sell your flat now until that's done?
Maybe. I could get £1 for it. One of them got valued at £1 last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And that's only because...
I'll buy it off you for £1.
Yeah. You can if you want. Look, I'll take your house, isn't it? Part exchange. Yeah, it's because every financial transaction...
You'd have to take his ministry on as well, though.
Yeah, no, you're all right then. I'm not taking any of them fucking serial killers on with a contract. Every transaction's going to be worth something, so it's just valued at £1.
So it's literally classed as being worthless, basically?
Yeah, it's changed now a bit because you've got to have this like EWS1 form or something, which is a safety certificate. If you haven't got one of them, you can't sell it. We haven't got them at the moment because of the cladding.
So you just can't. That's mad. That.
Yeah.
So anyone who lives in your building just basically can't move unless you can afford to move without having to.
Yeah, I know some people.
Is the people still renting in your building then?
Yeah. So
they still got value to it as rentals then?
There's still people renting them out. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean the likelihood of them, because at Grenfell was like, a 10,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Chance that there was a fire inside the building and it just got outside.
Yeah.
On the front, so they are still pretty safe, I guess. just don't. You can't park underneath them in case a car explodes.
Yeah.
And then the fire would get up through the bottom of the building.
That's fucking mental. That.
Yeah.
It's mad that it is mad that they're still going, oh yeah, go and rent that.
Yeah.
But no one's
Especially
ever
after
going
like
to sell it.
Grenfell, do you know what I mean? Like, you think they'd then go, right, we have to pass it. If this is happening, you have to just get it done no matter what, at the expense of...
It's because the
media
aren't doing enough to highlight it. So it's one of them where it's like, well, the government feel no pressure to do anything.
Yeah.
What has happened with Grenfell?
So there was a appliance went on fire.
They just wait. They give it the time, don't they?
They just do
all
something
the time,
else.
Just give it a time, yeah.
Like the Boris, as he said, just do enough fuck ups that the people forget about your last one.
Yeah.
You just keep rolling on, fuck up to fuck up. People just forget. That
we just kept fighting and eventually they caved in, like, otherwise they just let us do it.
Still nothing, no.
Not as yet, no. I mean, officially it is
it's the same as the Hillsborough thing. Like, we keep fighting. You've had the independent panel, you've had that. Still absolutely no one's been prosecuted. No. So everything they've done is like, it's just like, eventually they'll die, yeah.
Well, that's what they were trying to do with us, like just kick it down the road, move it along. Some of them have, not ours personally, but some of them have started getting the cladding taken off.
Have they? Like,
yeah, not in Runcorn just yet, but up and down the country. So it will happen, like, eventually. But it's just I like it down there, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's just like you say, it's just no value, though, is it?
Yeah.
You don't want to move, you're all right.
It's the fact you're having to pay a mortgage or something.
I guess you possibly could rent it out if you wanted to, if you did want to move.
I could. If I ever met anybody stupid enough to let me move in with them, I could rent it out. Well, there's nobody out there that's that fucking daft.
Giving up on finding a lifelong partner.
Yeah.
Swerving it, yeah? Fully tapping out?
They're just swerving me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've just given up being asked.
Right, okay,
Not on Tinder, no?
Yeah. I'm on all that, yeah.
Puff?
I'd dying to be on Tinder.
No, well, I was on Puff, but I don't have much joy with it.
Puff's the Wild West of them all, isn't it?
They're all as bad as each other, mate.
Tinder, Bumble and Hinge, they're the first message for the galley, innit?
Apparently, no, I think it's just Bumble. Hinge is the one, though, where you answer loads of questions.
Oh, it's like the proper looking for a partner sort of shit.
Apparently, Hinge looks a good one. Like, I just want to go on Tinder. I just think it looks a laugh, mate.
We're just going on there, just
go on there, going
chatting shit.
Just fucking judging people. I just want to go for the shit and judge people. That's what I want to do. Facebook's
gone a little burner then.
Facebook's gone shit, and
right. Well,
so
Facebook's dead, isn't it?
Exactly. So I want to go. I need something else where I can just go fucking hell. I keep of that. No,
TikTok, innit? We need to get on TikTok, mate. We do need to sort that out.
I've seen our Instagram For You page. If we got a TikTok, I don't want to see it.
Why?
Nadine Dorris is on TikTok now. Did you see her today?
I've seen that.
Who's she?
She's the culture secretary. So she's trying to look all
Who's
cool.
Angela Rayner?
She's the
Labour.
She fit?
She's strangely, I think she is.
Yeah.
She had a short skirt on.
I'm going to now.
Some of the Tory MPs were complaining that it was distracting Boris from his speech. Because she
was crossing her legs.
Fucking hell,
she was Sharon Stone and Boris. And then Boris came out and condemned it.
A little bit.
Boris came out and condemned anyone suggesting it.
Oh, yeah, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, she's a bit of you as well.
Simon, she is, yeah. Simon's interested in politics now.
Yeah, she's got that, like, I know, yeah. Right, okay.
Right, you've got a podcast we're doing here.
Sorry, yeah.
Blimp and Angela Rayner.
So you going out to get bevied later, Al?
I'm going to Wetherspoons after this, yeah.
Meet me, getting smashed.
Fucking hell.
Meet me, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Going there.
He's big against the spoons,
Anti-Wetherspoons, yeah.
Are you? Why?
Because of the lockdown stuff.
Well, it's because of his Brexit stuff.
Yeah, okay.
It was like Brexit. He was doing all that Brexit propaganda, wasn't he? To feather his own fucking nest. And then it was the lockdown stuff anyway. That just gave me the extra reason.
That just pushed it over.
I haven't been in since.
Trouble is, they shut all the pubs that we used to go to, so it's kind of one of the only options left.
That's how they do.
If that makes you feel better, Alan, that's absolutely fine.
It doesn't make me feel anything.
You know, one of the things though, one of the things going on in lockdown, there's loads of like people I was seeing saying, "Don't go to Wetherspoons." Remember what he's done, and then I saw a couple of people sitting actually going, "Well, I know you don't want to go to Wetherspoons and you don't want to help him, but at the same time, Wetherspoons has one of the strongest unions in the retail, not retail. What is it? Hospitality industry." Apparently one of the strongest unions, so the staff are actually well looked after.
So you sort of punish them when he wouldn't pay them the furlough?
Well, he didn't have a choice, did he? Like the people who were full time and stuff, he had to pay furlough. Yeah. It was the people that like basically was in the 0 hour contracts that he was going find a job.
Go and get a job in Tesco's. Yeah. I just don't like him. Yeah. He's a Tory.
I don't like any of that.
He's a horrible Tory.
There's only one Tory I quite like about Simon. outside of there, I can't stand any of them.
I need to go for a piss as well, but I'll have to stand there and defend myself now. We've sort of gave over Tory gay, haven't we? Or am I still considered Tory?
Well, I don't call you that anymore.
No, yeah, you got a bit sort of tired of it, haven't you?
It's like you calling me fat.
Yeah.
We like to mix it up, don't we?
I'm not a Tory. Like I say, I vote Labour, live Tory.
You don't vote, do you, really?
Vote Labour, live Tory. That's the slogan.
That's yeah.
What does that mean, vote Labour, live Tory? Just have a few quid.
Just, live
vote
well.
Labour, but live Tory.
Live well, eat olives. Eat sushi. Eat olives, steal sushi. You know that? Like,
it just sort of, you take the power back to yourself, don't you? So if you're going to get labelled the Tory.
So instead of stealing sausage rolls, you steal sushi and that makes you feel like a Tory.
Well, no, but just like if I vote Labour, it's like, well, I've done all I can now.
That's how it works.
Fucking more do you want me?
I've ticked the box. Now fuck off.
I put my cross in the box. Yeah.
That's what he says to the fella. He sits outside the shop asking for the. Have you got any spare change?
Yeah.
I tell you what I've got. A fucking vote, mate. And you've had that. Now fuck off.
You're welcome.
And saunter into Waitrose and get a bottle of whiskey. I don't even like this. Buying it so I can get red.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh.
I've heard that before.
What?
Vote Labour, live Tory.
Live Tory.
Oh, that's a saying, that, like.
That's our saying, no?
Vote left, live right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that vote left, live right, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, what more? Yeah, well, I think that is a good principle, innit? If everybody lived with vote Labour, Labour would be in, and then we'd all be trying to live as well as we can.
Yeah.
Vote Labour, vote Tory. Live Tory sounds better than vote left.
Because vote Labour,
live right sounds
vote Labour,
racist.
live Labour would be like you're just giving everything away constantly, like Jesus. Like somebody eventually has to benefit from something, don't they? It's like, oh, look at this lovely thing I've got. You have it. Oh, no, I've got the lovely thing. No, you have it. Like, who's going to enjoy the lovely thing?
Someone will break the chain.
Some little lizard.
That one who keeps sending you messages.
Yeah, I didn't get the lovely thing. I don't know what's happened to it. I was going to live it here now, have a good life and die. Well, you got to eventually.
Is that what you think Labour is? Like voting Labour is like pass the parcel? You just got to wait for the sound to stop and you can go, I'll have
To be honest with you, it's just the easiest one, isn't it? Yeah. If you're going to vote Tory, you have to be prepared to fight every time you talk about it. It's easy just to assume the position of everyone else should have a better thing.
Down where we kind of live. You live in other areas, you vote Tory because everyone else does.
I did
Otherwise, you've got to fight your way.
I know. If anything, I'm better than all of you because I know voting Tory would benefit me more, but I still do Labour. So fuck all of you lot voting Labour to try and benefit yourselves. I'm voting Labour and making it worse for me if they get it.
I don't just vote Labour. I'm a Labour Party member.
Oh no, Jeremy Corbyn. I went with him. I left when he left.
I left when Jeremy left. Yeah,
I'm still one. Still one.
What was I going to say then? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Angela Rayner's more Corbynite, isn't she?
Yeah, and that's why they released some bollocks about her expenses claims or something. Now they're saying she was crossing her legs to confuse Boris, trying to get rid of it, and it will work because that's what they do.
It's probably fucking Labour releasing that Keir Starmer, the cunt.
Yeah. I know, they do fucking shoot themselves in the foot.
He's not well liked, is he? Nice and political, this. Good, wholesome content.
This is what you wanted for a while.
I haven't got a fucking clue what to say about it, but what's your view on Keir Starmer, Alan?
I don't really like him now.
Oh, right, okay.
No. I mean, the fact that he's a Sir kind of goes against the kinds of the principles.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, I'll be honest.
And he was a barrister. He's probably loaded.
Yeah.
There's
about Burnham.
Although you can't really get into it. I like Burnham.
Burnham seems to be a man of the people, doesn't he?
He seems to be a lot better.
I've got my reservations about Burnham, even though I've met him quite a few times, and he's a decent bloke, and I like what he's done. But back in the day, he was a little bit of a careerist. Did some things that I didn't like.
But haven't they all?
A better leader than
massively. I just think when
got his name.
He was in Tony Blair's government.
He was,
and when he was in Tony Blair's government, he was a bit of a careerist, and that's all been nicely whitewashed.
You reckon a lot of them are though, as well.
Of course, that's the problem.
Getting into it because you do one term in Parliament, you get a pension for life.
Yeah.
So
Do you?
Yeah, you get your pension
Fucking
for
hell.
life. 1
Get into
term,
that,
5 year
I might be coming
term.
out. Fucking hell.
One term, how long's a term?
5 year term.
Ah, fuck that. That'll be like 3 months. Seems like a cut.
Gotta get 6 weeks off.
That seems like something that the Parliament boys would give themselves. Just do it for 3 months and we'll box ourselves off for life.
No, Bobby's like, there's a bar there. Like
5 years for that shit.
Yeah, it's the cheapest place.
Less than £2 a pint. Yeah.
My mate's
Cheapest place to eat in London as well.
Yeah.
They
have like 5-star restaurants. It's like £3 for a full slap up meal and all that.
Yeah.
And
I've been.
Have you been there?
One of my mates used to work there. Yeah.
My
Bootle.
mate's ex-boyfriend used to work in IT.
That's
he used to work in Parliament as an advisor.
As an advisor?
Yeah, he's from Bootle as well. He used to go to our school, the Georges.
Did he?
Right. Yeah.
So what was he doing?
Robbing the car radios.
What was he doing while the fires were happening? Robbing car radios?
He was older than me. He was out robbing car radios, yeah.
Yeah.
He used to rob the car radios and the teacher would buy them off them, didn't he, and sell them. But he was that lad, and he ended up getting a job in Parliament, advising MPs on biblical issues. So I was with him one day. We were in Barcelona, and what's that?
Las Ramblas.
Yeah, we were up there. Yeah, the Ramblas.
That'll do. Yeah,
right. Yeah, we were, and Anne Widdicombe rang him up. Anne Widdicombe rang him up, right? And he's like, "Oh, it's Anne Widdicombe. I'll have to answer it." So he answers it, and she's like, "So, David, what is the church's viewpoint on just war?" I think it was, like a just war.
Yeah.
A just war. And he was like, and he said. He was like, "Oh well, there's this viewpoint, there's this." So he gave them advice so that when they went on question time for things like that, and someone has asked them a question,
she can just fire that back at
they've got an answer.
Oh right, yeah.
And he said, "What I can't do is tell them something because they will say, the Bible Society says this." Do you get what I mean? And they're the ones getting the stick. Then not
if it goes wrong.
When did he turn to God? Then he was robbing radios in school.
In our church after. I mean, he went to Germany working on the.
Did you recruit him? Did you?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Oh.
And Dave Landham. Shout out Dave Landham. He'll never watch this, but
Why not?
He just won't.
He just
too clever now. He's got a PhD and everything. He's just like proper clever now.
How do you get jobs like that? You know, there's people like I was watching the match yesterday. Some of the backroom staff at Anfield.
That's what I was going to say about. We'll go back to that.
Yeah.
You know, you're saying about anywhere else, you'd be fine voting Tory. I was laughing to myself because Liverpool fans were singing, Frank's Frank's a Tory. Is it like to have a go at Everton fans? Yeah. And I was like, I wonder if any other like town in the world they just sing Frank's a Tory. It's an insult like sort of thing. No. And I said, I wonder if Frank's sitting there feeling ashamed or he's just thinking.
No, he's thinking, what's wrong with that? He's thinking I live in Surrey.
Yeah.
I would be a Tory, wouldn't I? You know what I mean?
My mate said his lads, he's got like teenage kids.
Yeah.
And they call it, if it's an insult now, they'll call each other a Tory.
Wow.
Like teenagers.
Yeah, it is funny when you go to uni.
Tory.
When you go to uni and they don't know they're a Tory.
Yeah.
Did you go to uni?
No, I never went, no.
Like you go to, so I was in uni with like, there's this girl who knew all the maid in Chelsea lot and stuff like that. She's dead posh. And like I was calling her a Tory. She's like, what does that mean?
Really?
And I was like, you're a Tory, like you vote Conservative. And she was like, I don't think I've ever bothered voting, but yeah, I think everyone votes Conservative, don't they? Yeah. It's like what? That's why they keep winning. And I was like, not by mine. No one votes Conservative. No. You're all Tory scum. And she's like, oh, and like. Just didn't know she was a Tory. And like she had to ask her dad, what do we vote Conservative? He's like, yeah, of course we do. She's like, yeah. And then she just didn't talk to me about it. She's like, yeah, let's not talk about politics.
I always think there must be like, because we all live in an echo chamber, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, it's the world.
There must be another one where they're all talking about like kicking puppies into canals and stuff. And
good,
poor people Formby chat.
Yeah. I'm on that one, mate.
See a French bully just fucking booted in the canal.
Yeah. Killing pigeons, it's called. The group comedy group. Just
and then grilling
post videos ourselves killing birds, kicking pigeons to death. Just outside the Kippax. What were you talking about then? So I can.
We're talking about Liverpool fans were singing to Frank Lampard.
Thanks a Tory.
Thanks a Tory. It was like, I wonder if the rest of the country like sitting there going, why are they singing that? And Liverpool fans singing it because of like, your manager's a Tory, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself.
It is funny when they sing Rafa Benitez, is there?
Yeah.
That's the best one.
The funniest thing from the match was when Alisson did the save.
I'll never watch that.
That was so funny.
Smug his face was.
That was like the ultimate callback, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He literally
nailed it.
If only he'd done the little wink.
The little wink at the end.
If he'd have done that would have topped it off.
That was it.
To be fair, if they didn't win, Pickford would have or he was a rat move, like in terms of just trying to wind the other team up. He's probably the smarmiest player they could have had.
They were right when they were asked Frank Lampard about it. It was what Mourinho's on.
Just said not to get beat.
He did exactly the same.
Enough, like.
All
had better players to score. Because to be fair, Everton had a few chances they could have scored on the break. So like, you think like if Mourinho had better players?
I was watching it with my mate. You know John Capewell. You know John. You met him.
Yeah.
Watching it with him, and I said because sometimes Everton will get in good positions and he'd fuck it up. It's like it's almost as if they all of a sudden remember that they're shit. They'll take 3 people on and go, actually, I'm fucking shit, and just knock the ball out of play.
That Richarlison, he's fucking...
he's
again, in terms of wind-up merchant, they'll give him his due.
Oh, you'd love him, he was on your
team. Yeah.
When he got injured,
and who's that?
That funny one was where he was lying on the floor for ages.
Yeah.
And then
the
score or whatever. Start to play, and he's looking a bit, and then he's going back down, he gets up, looks again.
I mean, I'm all about that little... I love a dive. I love a dive.
I love a little bit of shithousery.
I love a dive. You know, just if the leg's there, you take. He's dangling the leg out. I'm clipping it, and I'm over.
And I played football when you just got kicked, and it was just like tough. You didn't even get a foul. I was rubbish at football.
I used to play in a Sunday league in Runcorn, and it used to be this. I don't know if it was true, whether it was just one of these myths. There used to be a big fella play centre forward. He used to shove his finger up his ass before the game and shove it under the centre half's nose, so he wouldn't go near him again.
I've heard of
I've been poked in the eye playing footy.
Wasn't my shitty finger, was it?
No, it wasn't. No,
getting eye infection
at the corner.
I used to stand on toes and pinch people and all that.
Finger up the arse and that.
Grabbing the cock and all that.
Really?
Yeah. Just like.
Oh fuck.
Sure, Longley was telling me like in rugby, it's called like
it's called banter in rugby.
Oil check or something.
Come drink their own piss.
An oil check.
How weird rugby.
Stick your finger up the arse just to.
We used to get teams coming into Liverpool. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. No, we'll get back to the Tory conversation. I'm trying to get off football because I don't want people to.
Okay, yeah.
Don't want to split our audience. That's all.
Why were they not? We've not got soccer fans, have we?
We're all talking
soccer.
That was a Tory statement.
That was a Tory statement.
I'm all about that.
Didn't you?
I'm not.
No, I was asking you saying how do people get these jobs?
So Alan was talking about his mate who ended up becoming an advisor in Parliament. There's like people on the backroom staff at Anfield.
Yeah.
Or any football club. It must be the best job to us on the outside.
Yeah.
Like a kit man.
Yeah.
Just go around.
Third choice keeper at City. Discussed this. It's the best gig in world football.
Like Adrian.
That's the best job in the world to be the third choice keeper for City.
You're never ever going to play. It's like Adrian for us now, isn't it? Well, he did have a bit of a go, but
win everything.
Go all over Europe or over the world during the summer.
Was it Foster at the City when they? Who was the keeper they bought on for like his last game before he retired?
Scott Carson.
Was it? Yeah. Come on, he just
like third choice goalkeeper. You know, you get that job because you're a goalie. But it's like Kitman and something that advice. There's that bloke. Have you watched that Inside Anfield?
Loads of the Kitman and stuff though. They're all like passed down from family and that, aren't they?
Yeah, well, there's that guy who's just retired and he was like the driver or something.
Yeah.
There's that bloke. Is it Ian? I don't know his name. Is he got like blonde hair and he's always on the touch? He's always by the tunnel.
Yeah. And
he's just a bit of a character. Like I think he's on Twitter doing different things. Like how does he get that job?
Honestly. Well, if you ever watch like documentaries and that, it's always they knew someone who was doing it.
Who was there?
It's like them jobs never get advertised. They're always like I'll vouch for him and he can be in because obviously they've got to be around the players.
Yeah, because I'm just knocking out fucking software contracts left, right, and centre, and some cunt going all around Europe.
Be a clown at the match.
Yeah, like that. Remember that fella who was at Chelsea?
Oh, Billy.
He used to, well, he was a little
Billy something. I think he
was like
blonde hair.
Like there was him. There's an older bloke who was like an interpreter, but he never knew the language he was trying to interpret. I think it was when it was Big Phil was the manager. Right. And he said, I think once he was filmed and he said like, oh yeah, I'm sick as a parrot or something like that at the end because he had no idea what Big Phil had just said. So he just come up with a load of cliches.
Who gave that speech? Was it Nelson Mandela somewhere? They had the interpreter and it just wasn't anything.
He said he was sick as a parrot.
Yeah.
Who turns up for a cleaning job And they got him mixed up and sat him down. And
it wasn't that. It was somebody.
Oh, that was BBC News.
Yeah,
and he's just like the wrong guest.
He turned up at a job interview. He started asking, he's like, look at them going, fucking weirdest interview I've been to in my life.
When he comes to empty the bins.
Go on, what were you saying? Was to get back onto what?
Oh no, it's just done it now.
That was it. How there's these Bobby's jobs that people get? Like how do they get them?
What, like weird jobs?
Good jobs, you know.
Yeah.
Jobs you'd want as a kid, like
how did Jose Mourinho get the interpreter's job at
and
Barcelona?
Then become a top manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He he's probably in the industry and way to spoke, but how'd you get in there?
Well, that was one of the things about Jose Mourinho, wasn't it? Like when he was interpreter, he used to give people notes on how they should be playing. They'd be like, "Fucking what the fuck are you doing?"
Like Hitler running back and forth in the war, passing notes. Isn't that what he did? Didn't he? First World War.
Was it?
I think so.
No,
passing notes back and forth.
I mean, that's coming from me. So of anybody on this podcast,
they just told you to say it over there.
Yeah.
Put it in your head.
Oh. Still haven't asked me a question. So what's the worst thing you can do before you lose your job, Alan?
The worst thing I can do? It's probably come on here. It's pretty I don't know. We get done for what's called conduct unbecoming of a Baptist minister.
Right.
And in college.
That's a bit vague, isn't it? That.
Yeah, that covers
unbecoming.
a range of subjects.
It is vague. It can cover everything. Like it's usually like getting off with someone else, robbing money.
Yeah.
All that type of stuff. It's usually that.
Well, if you were to get arrested for something.
One of my mates nearly got done for. They said he was an alcoholic. He was getting.
Right.
And was he an alcoholic?
No, he drank, but they were saying he was an alcoholic because he drank occasionally.
What was their sort of suspicions? What were they? Bladdered all the time.
Outside the off license selling big issue. I don't know. It was just like I don't know. It was the church he was in. Someone reported him, and if you get reported, they investigate. It's like when I was on Britain's Got Talent.
Who did they report you to?
For me jokes. We've got like a head office. Which is
like
down,
all Baptist churches or
Oxford way. Yeah.
That's weird that they're like, you don't know any of them, like Formby ones and all that. They're all separate and run individually. But then you've got a head office that you can sack anyone from anywhere.
Well, they can remove you off the list of accredited Baptist ministers. They can't technically sack you.
Right.
So you'd have to be on an accredited list to be one.
Yeah.
Which they sort of run.
Yeah.
And so they can remove you off if it ain't anything that they don't consider good
Baptist,
for Baptist to do. It can be a lot of things, yeah. But I was number one candidate for not lasting very long when I was in college. Yeah.
He goes to priest like Baptist college.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, I don't now.
I know that. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
No, I had to. Yeah, it was in Manchester as well, so that was fun. The only fun thing about it was in the Curry Mile. So that was all right. I put on about 3 stone.
Is it like Father Ted, where everyone's just dressed as priests? And
No.
So I was imagining at a head office, everyone's just like wearing all the Pope gear.
No. Our denomination doesn't really wear that, to be honest.
Is it Protestant?
It's on the Protestant side of things, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's less
weird, that one.
The Protestant, I would say the Baptist is the Labour Party of the religious movement because it's like a people-run thing. If you understand what I mean, right? Hierarchy. So we haven't got people who can tell us what to do. That's just the way it is.
So if you were to get taken off that accredit,
I could still be our church's minister.
Is it up to like the people of the church?
Yeah,
then, is it?
They could say, "Nah, we still want you."
So have you got
but I couldn't go somewhere else then.
Yeah,
do you get what I mean? Well, I could if they
wanted you.
If they wanted you. Yeah.
So have you got like a committee? Have you in the church or something? Have you? Or like?
Yeah, every member. It's like a membership run thing.
Right.
That's why I say it's a bit like the Labour Party.
Right.
So there isn't.
So would there like to be a vote amongst your members? Would there?
Yeah.
Did they have a vote when the Britain's Got Talent stuff then or not?
No. They did. The investigation was in the main office.
Right.
Because people complained about me talking about sex, life.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about your wife and stuff when you.
Yeah. So they said that's terrible for the Baptist
minister. Wait, who can't have sex in the church? What rank have you got?
You can't.
What
He's about Roman Catholics now.
Right. Okay. So which of them priests? A Roman Catholic priest can't fuck. Yeah. And when do they stop fucking?
Because they're married to Jesus.
Nuns can't fuck either.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Nuns
can't fuck either.
I know. Right. So when do they say I'm gonna stop fucking? Presumably you can still fuck and then become one.
I guess so.
When does that usually happen?
when they become a priest, I guess.
How
when
long
they go
does it
into
take
the
to become?
training.
Yeah, because you're sort of reborn, aren't you?
I don't know really.
I think you get baptized again, don't you, when you become a priest? So you get baptized twice, I think.
I don't know.
You religious at all?
No.
Ever been?
Yeah, I was raised a Catholic.
And then when did you fuck it all off?
I don't know, about when I was about 13, 14. I used to go to church every week.
Yeah.
Went to Catholic school. Where
did you ever pray when you were in debt?
No.
I've prayed a few times when I've been like early teens or something.
Yeah.
There's bollocks in it.
I did pray once and I could go to the school disco.
Right.
And, I found £1 and went.
Right, okay.
There you go.
Oh,
But when you were in debt, you weren't asked about trying to...
No.
You weren't asked about trying to pray.
No.
Right.
No. I gave up believing a long time ago. My mum goes back to church now. We used to go every week. And probably in a proper Roman Catholic fire and brimstone school
horrible.
where the teachers are twatty with rulings. My mum went to St. Malachy's in Liverpool. And they used to get battered by the nuns in there. They were terrible.
They used to get battered by our teachers.
Sexually frustrated.
They weren't nuns.
I wouldn't want to be around a man who's not fucking goosed for 50 years.
Can't wank either, can he?
Fuck off.
Not allowed to wank either.
Shut up.
I've not asked them, but I guess no.
Yeah, not allowed to self-gratification.
Is it a vow of celibacy, they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's you're not even to have a little
Not
talk.
even allowed to have
I'm not being funny, but they're having wet dreams. There's something they can't control. That'll happen.
About what? They don't have ages, according to the Roman Catholics.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is music to my ears, this. I think that they will come. Said it.
They must have a little fiddle, mustn't they? You knew it was going
to go there with me when it was you knew it was going to end up me talking about somebody
You think
coming.
they'll find a way? How do you think they'll find a way, Simon?
What? To come?
I'm just trying to get you to go back and calling people nonsense again.
Well, nonsense are always good content, aren't they, for the listener? It's always interesting talking about paedophilia.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Not really.
You're on your own on that island.
Yeah, I'll do my own one. Do my own podcast. For the nonsense out there. I've already ruminated this idea, haven't I? The idea of doing one specifically for just...
Doing a pod on the dark web.
Sorry, I shouldn't say this with the Baptist minister. I feel a bit guilty about it all.
Maybe getting him sacked.
Will you get twatted tonight?
No.
Do you ever get twatted anymore?
Occasionally.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
What occasion would you get twatted at? Because I'm trying to...
Would you get twatted
before a big Sunday?
Would you get twatted on a Saturday because you got Sunday service? Would you have to do it on a Friday sort of thing, or what?
It would be, it wouldn't be a Saturday if I went out. I don't like going out on a Saturday for drinking.
Just because you got what Sunday?
Sunday, it's not weird. It's just not weird. Not worth it. It hurts too much.
You know, when you started doing stand-up, did you find it changed your minister sort of thing at all?
I think... I don't know, because I talk about it, don't I? So for me, it was a bit of therapy, I suppose, because the minister stuff was like, can be full on when you're getting threatened with stabbing and things like that, you know what I mean? It's,
no, but I mean, like delivery-wise, like, did you ever find yourself improve, like, sort of
I
that
actually
way,
thought, this is straight up, because the reason I done it was because I was in a discussion that it's called homiletics, right? But it's like the art of preaching, right?
Yeah.
Basically. And I was in a class with that, and they got up and they said, preaching's finished nowadays. No one does it anymore. No one listens. The art of one. This is to fill us with confidence. You know what I mean? Now go. No one listens anymore. Like one person with one microphone. It's a cultural oddity. Yeah. And I'd never been to a comedy club at that point, but I'd been to see Peter Kay like that week or something, and literally. I said, nah, you're talking nonsense. I've just been to see Peter Kay in the Echo Arena, 11,000 people, hour and a half, wanting more after it. So that
must
one
be
person, one microphone's never been more popular.
Yeah.
I actually said to them, it's what you say when you've got it in your hand. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So on the back of that, I got given a learning objective, which was to go on a stand-up comedy course and compare and contrast. Preaching and comedy.
So the person who give you
world of comedy, isn't it?
So J-Dog,
you big fat slag. Well, he got a reaction.
So
well, we all know Mary Magdalene. You know what
people
she was.
People fucking listen to him.
So I literally done that with Sam Avery, Comedy Trust kind of thing, Brendan Riley, and I was never going to do comedy at all.
Yeah.
So, and what I found on that was, I think, and this might surprise you, I think comedians treat their audience with more
contempt.
No,
sorry,
no. More.
That's just you.
That's just podcasters.
They actually treat their audience as more intelligent.
Yeah.
So what a preacher will often do is they'll say the same thing 3 times, but they might say it in slightly different ways.
Yeah,
I do that. They don't know, but it's the same joke, same rhythms and everything.
What a comedian does, he'll do a callback, knowing that they'll get it.
Yeah,
where they don't do that in preaching.
Yeah.
So it did change because I started doing that more in preaching,
like
respecting sort of reference something. Yeah, and also. One of the things they taught us on that comedy course was to write your whole set out, highlight your punchlines, and then get from one punchline to the next as quick as you can.
Yeah.
I started doing that with talking on a Sunday rather than just waffle.
Yeah.
So I went from probably talking for half an hour to 12 to 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. To be made up.
Exactly. So it did change things. It changed things a lot.
Did you see like a change in the... What was the word again? Congregation, yeah. Well, I don't mean like people coming out, but like in reaction to what you were doing.
Yeah, well, some people couldn't get it. It blew their heads off that I wasn't explaining everything to the nth degree. I was taking it that you'd know stuff.
Like
if I was
what?
mentioning
You got an example?
stuff, I can't think, but I'd mention stuff knowing that it meant this.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't tell you that bit. Right. I know you knew already, so I didn't have to explain it to you. I can't think of an example off the top of my head. But then people would be getting up to me saying, you should have said this. And I'd go, yeah, I know, but you knew it.
Yeah.
I want you to make the connection rather than... You should have said
this. Like, well, I didn't have to because as you just know, you
got it. You got what I was saying. Yeah. So I'd started doing that a bit more. And I guess
And have you trained them now? Have you trained them to make the links?
It's completely different since lockdown.
I'm going to get to that.
Sorry.
That's what I was going with
next. It's completely different what we do now. Massively different.
So has that come from the stand-up, do you think? Explain the way you've changed a little bit, if you don't mind.
So our church would have been a typical kind of charismatic, maybe, I don't know what your experience of church is, happy clappy type of church.
Yeah.
Where there'd be quite a lot of singing going on, people with arms in the air, you know, all that type of stuff. Ours would have been kind of that way, but not totally over the top. Yeah. Bit more reserved, but that way. Yeah. And then someone would speak for half an hour, 40 minutes, and that'd kind of be it. Right? That's what it used to be. Pre-lockdown, that was us. Lockdown come and they said to us, some of the people said, we've got to do something online. And I was thinking, no, it'll be awful.
Yeah.
It will be terrible. So I actually said, no, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Right? Really. And I've been saying for a while to people, I actually think we should start running church like comedy nights.
Yeah.
No. There's your next act kind of thing. No, but
someone dressed up as a Judas.
You go and get a cup of coffee and
telling dark material.
Time. Do you understand what I mean? Having 3 sections.
Rather than trying to do 40 minutes straight through.
Rather than doing an hour and a bit straight through. Like break it and different sections, different topic kinds of things. That's what I've been saying it for a while. And then we started doing the online stuff and I said, we can't do what we've been doing because it'll just be awful. It will be terrible. It was bad enough in the room, never mind in the world, right? Yeah. So we started, and at that time it was pre-record, so it wasn't great anyway, but it was better. And we started just breaking it down. So now if you come to our church on a Sunday morning, it's a lot like this.
Yeah.
There's a couch.
Not
everyone's dropping the C-bomb, but there's a couch and there's a chair.
Talk about Thailand.
We get people. We don't talk about Thailand and nonsense very often. But and
I don't say very often, like now and again. There is some people in the Bible you have to mention.
We invite people onto the couch and chat with them, and then we'll chat through a subject rather than me stand there for 40
like a little
minutes.
TV show.
Yes,
there's an audience, and then you get
we basically based it on
Jeremy Kyle
television.
Yeah. Not Jeremy Kyle, no,
not quite.
I think more loose women,
but probably is more loose women. Someone came this week, first time ever, and they said, I was sat there thinking, this is like the Graham Norton show. I'm not sure the vibe we were going for, but there you go.
But people getting photos.
So it's massively different, and we don't do a load of singing. We've basically gone backwards to where they used to sing one song and then they'd have a block or something, one song. So we have almost done them sections that a comedy night have. We just don't stop. So it is massively different than we used to do.
So
but
you
it's
have
better.
like a couch where they'll get someone up from the audience and have a chat, and then they'll be watching it like a studio
audience. You said you're
audience.
enjoying it a lot more now, aren't you?
It's well better because I was bored of our church.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been there 39 years. So
to be fair, though, sometimes
time.
I get bored of my own set when I'm on stage.
Well, that's what I mean. I was bored of my own voice. I was convinced they were bored. I was bored of singing. I was just fed. I couldn't be bothered.
You're going to get one of them chairs like an Alan Carr. If someone's boring you, you can point them off.
That's the what's his name?
That's Norton, isn't it?
Graham Norton, yeah.
Maybe.
Offensive.
So did I say Jeremy Kyle?
He said Alan Carr.
Oh, did I?
Just two,
that's the other.
Just two gays, just two gay white men.
Sorry, gays.
So yeah, it's couch. I'm wearing.
It's nice that they've taken inspiration from another one.
It's better that I think
we're in the church now, lad. We've got them. We've got them.
No, I think
we're going to cults in the church now. We're taking them over.
We're going to be a religion, so we don't have to pay tax.
Yeah. I think it's better because I think it connects with people better.
Yeah,
than we ever have for a while.
Have you had a lot? Have you had feedback from people? Like, I know you've had some people going, oh, can't we be changing the things?
We very surprisingly we got hardly anyone saying, when are we getting back to normal?
Everyone
loves it in terms, and we've got loads
imagine if you're more part of it.
Local people coming and people who you wouldn't say interfaith.
Yeah,
we get a lot of that. People who wouldn't. Not necessarily.
I'll be honest. I'm on the fence. I might come on a Sunday. To be honest,
literally, they wouldn't be. Yeah. I mean, we do it on Facebook and YouTube, but
you live stream it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we still do that.
You can watch that then in the morning. Stick that on the Sunday morning. See what bootleheads confessing to whatever they wear
it on Sunday mornings. Those be fucking crying.
And we're not trying to be
crying, calling on him while he's on stage. Tell him he's all right.
Some churches do it, and they do it like proper well. You know, it's like a TV production.
What, like you sort of thing?
Well, they might not do the couch. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, their production as well.
Oh, do you mean the live streaming sort of thing? Yeah.
We're not. We are
proper. It
costs
a lot of money, that's why.
We are proper, like, low end, low budget. We're like, Jack, you'll have to turn the next bit on. You know, that kind of thing. It's proper. It's not cool. We're not trying to be cool at all.
Some people love it. That's why they like this podcast.
So we're not cool at all. And it's very... And anything can happen. You know, literally. Yeah. You know, you'll be sitting there talking on the couch and then a kid will come up. Just wander into shot. Look at the camera,
just
or
get the kid in the couch, talk to the
start
kid.
playing footy. You know, I love it because it's so real now. Rather than I've been there that long and I've seen the ups and downs of our church over the years, and I felt it was just stale and boring, and I was bored.
I'll be honest, like I say, the way you make it sound feels exactly like how I feel it should have been. And I think if it was a church like that when I was still not struggling with faith, but like. Still thinking, do I believe all this bollocks, or like still had some sort of like pull towards the church? I probably would have hung around. Whether I'd have stayed and still been religious now, but I'd have hung around enough to a little bit longer anyway.
Or just go and be part of the studio audience at the church.
Studio audience.
Well, you just feel a part of it then, don't you? I don't like ask a question.
I suppose it'd be a bit more engaging if there was just somebody from the village up on stage with the priest sort of going through some shit they're talking about.
It's so funny. Hey, imagine the gossip. You know, someone's had an affair and she's on the church. So tell us what happened.
Yeah. We've got.
Hey, did you let yourself down last Friday?
Yeah.
Come across some software where people can interact as well now.
Yeah.
So we can ask questions.
Yes, I sorted for a mate. Yeah.
And they can respond to the questions, and it comes up on the screen and all that. And that comes up live, so anything can happen in that.
Sounds like a can of worms.
Sounds
like Alan Partridge is there. It's accidentally tuned up to the thing, and he's sending off for big dick pills, and he's like, so tell us more about your new movie. And he's like, I do not need penis enlargement pills. My penis is absolutely fine. It's connected.
Well, it is. We do sort of say, jokingly, hopefully, we do say, yep, by the way, this is live. Please don't swear. You know that.
Right. The old Big Brother show.
This is live. Please don't swear. And no dick pics on the comments.
Yeah.
No, we don't have pics. We
don't have pics, just in case.
You can say anything. They're not vetted at all. It comes through live.
Just comes up, live.
That's risky, that, mate. Especially in a brutal church. Some cunt will be like, it's a bit laugh. Going all the way, going to church live.
The funniest thing was, you know, you do.
I was going to say, tell us where your church is at the end, and now I'm thinking maybe just leave it.
You know, you do the clips.
Trolls.
You know, you do the clips. You've done a clip of me. Did you see the generated headline that was the the one for the Facebook. You need to look it up.
No.
I can't.
Generated headline.
Yeah, it's like you do the subtitles.
Oh, the subtitles.
Yeah. Well, the picture that went up, went up was you, us four with Sam Ireland, and I was talking, and you were saying, "You cheeky C-bomb," and that was what it was. That's literally what I shared on my Facebook, and I was just like, little bit of an unfortunate head in there, but funny anyway.
I didn't see that.
Oh, I think you can choose as well, you know.
He's probably chosen on purpose.
Yeah. No, it's in like you can choose when you share it, but I don't know how to do it. So you have to.
I just shared it, and it was halfway through the clip.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yeah.
And bring you over to the dark side, Alan.
Yeah, you'll get me.
You're going to be just on here now. Get you on here. Leave the church after 40 years. Convert you to another one.
That'll be it. Be another one Baptist podcast.
I told you, mate. I told you I wanted the cult.
Yeah.
I told you I wanted the cult.
Wants his own cult, eh? Yeah. So
right.
I think it's better anyway. But
that's brilliant. So go on. Where is your church in case people actually?
In case you want to troll you on a Sunday morning for a laugh.
No, listen, no trolling. And if I find out anyone trolls, you'll have me to deal with. But anyone who's actually genuinely interested and wants to look for the faith. It looks like a good way to go. It's
Emmanuel Baptist Church. It's in Netherton, Fleetwood's Lane, Netherton. L30. So we're doing it next week. We're doing an alpha course, which is one of them things where you can go and ask any questions you want. You get fed. So that's a good
What are you selling? What are you serving?
Yeah, you get.
What are you serving?
I don't know what the food is. We're doing one on the daytime.
Fish and bread, will it?
We're doing one on it. It's usually a meal. It's a proper meal.
Oh, right.
Usually. But
didn't enjoy.
But then we're doing it one online on Zoom on a Thursday at 8 o'clock as well.
You don't know what's on the menu
for that one. No, what we do for that one is we send you a Just Eat voucher.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Okay, yeah,
so,
sound.
There you go.
Right, okay.
Just Eat. I think it's about 15 quid.
Is it?
That's pretty good there.
Yeah. So
I might sign up to that. Just Eat voucher.
Well, people might and not come back. That's fine. It is what it is. But that's a course that basically asks all the big questions or talks, and then you can ask any questions you want. It's a video course. It's pretty
they like to convert people, aren't they? Or people who've kind of lost the way a little bit. So I used to work with a bloke who was a born again Christian, and he used to go in those alpha courses.
Yeah,
he help run them. So like
a way of
in the darkness, you can find
way
the
of
and a free voucher.
Well, they call it an introduction to the Christian faith, but it can be a bit of a process kind of conversion thing. They've got their critics. I just think they're great because we've had people come on them. We've had people come to faith. After that, we've had people come on them and not come to faith, but we still talk to them. Do you get what I mean? We're still connected. And that.
Recruitment drive,
it's not like if you come on this, you've got to come to faith, or we won't give you your £15.
That's
back
what
in
you
the
say,
day,
mate. But once you sign up,
no. But back in the day, that's
what
the church did. The church went to places and they'd let your kids go to school if you came to church.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's not that. But it's kind of...
It's not one for one, but
I mean, we do it hoping people come to faith, but it's not like you have to. It's up to you. So.
To sign up to something like that, you've got to have an interest a little bit anyway, haven't you?
Well, you've been thinking things through, at least, I would say. So,
Right, Colin, where can we find Giggle Shack? Where are your gigs mainly? They don't run
Helsby Sports Club.
Yeah.
That's every month.
It's the flagship.
That's the flagship one, yeah. That was the maiden one. In a new venue now. What do you think of the new venue?
I like the older one had that smoky vibe to it, but the new one was fine when I did it. Yeah, it was great, nice. You got a nice crowd as well that you go to your gigs.
We've built it up over this 5 years. So Helsby Sports Club is the one usually the first Friday of every month. Society Limited is the small Sunday night one.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Brindley Theatre. There's only like 4 tickets left for that now.
Yeah, but you do that every
year.
3 months or something.
That's for just a Smig, isn't it? Paul Smith one.
Yeah, Clinton Baptiste.
And you've got your Bootle one.
And the Bootle top rope.
Hopefully getting added to that.
June the 26th.
And also, while you're on top rope, you want to make an order, movement discount, get you 15% at the moment. Yeah.
It's more than I got.
So,
put a gig on there, didn't even get a free flight.
You put an order in, put movements in, you get 50% on local beers.
You got a website where they can look at all these gigs?
Yeah, just go on the... I've got a website as such, just go on Facebook.
Yeah, okay.
Have you got that other gig you saw you doing with Washy was on?
Well, I've got, they're like in Deepest Darkest. Mind you, I don't know where, I've just presumed this is
literally the internet,
yeah.
So yeah, we've got the Goshawk, which is like in Molesworth in the middle of like Deepest Darkest Cheshire. That's on June the I don't know when that one is.
And you get some good ass on because Washy did that gig. And then 2 days later, he's in Swansea Arena doing McIntyre support.
Yeah.
It's like so weird to see like a photo of him like sitting there like in front of like 50 seats in a pub. People. And 2 days later, he's in an arena. Yeah, with that
is a good thing about live comedy, right? You can see acts like that.
Yeah,
doing big arenas. You can see him in small little.
So to get tickets and see what night you're putting on, it's Giggle Shack. Is that on just on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook, just the Giggle Shack, and more also it's _Giggle Shack on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Brilliant.
Get on it.
Right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Sign up to the Patreon. Patreon.com/another one.
Another one podcast.
Another one podcast.
Make sure you put the podcast on the end. Don't you sign up to any other fucking Patreon by accident. Imagine if we found out there was another one page on for something called Another One. They had like 700 Patreons. They were like, this is shite. It's not even them. I didn't think they hated it that much. They weren't even doing one.
Why are they hiring people to do the Patreon specials? Right, thanks very much.
Ta-da.